San Diego, it's time to fire it up. From the beaches to the ballparks, from the Gaslamp to North County, no one knows America's finest city like he does.
You can't just punt on a Manny Machado prime year.
He's a fourth-generation San Diegan, born and raised in the heart of this community. Passionate, opinionated, and always bringing you the real talk on your teams, your city, and everything in between.
Braden totally knows his stuff. He's ready for the next step. That guy is good.
Live and local, it's the Braden Surprenant Show.
But I think Braden's one of the up-and-coming young stars in the media game in San Diego.
Now, here's your host, Braden Surprenant.
Well, hello. It is not Braden Surprenant today. It is Matt Scraby. I am filling in for Braden today as he is apparently, I'm looking on the chat right now, he's on some sort of ayahuasca trip or something. I have no idea.
Yeah, he's on a wellness retreat right now.
He's on, is that true?
No.
Oh, okay. So I think he's out doing baseball stuff and in the Braden stuff that he does. But we will, Frank and I, have you for the next
Something like
4
that.
hours. I probably should have asked you before the show where he was going, but I didn't. So
Whatever what's the country music fest that's happening? Was it
he went to a
Stagecoach,
country
or
music festival.
is it
Stagecoach?
Is it Stagecoach? Is it what's the other one that's usually he's at that
Oh yeah,
one.
Kayla says he's at Stagecoach. Okay.
Yeah.
I was not sure about that. I've never been to Stagecoach, although my grandparents lived in La Quinta for a really long time, and so whenever these concerts and what is the other one out there? It's
Yeah, that's what.
oh man, I'm really showing my lack of pop culture at this point. Someone on the chat, please.
It's not even pop culture.
Please help me.
It's company knowledge at this point.
Company knowledge, yeah. Anyway, people used to come out and rent houses. Coachella, thank you, man.
We don't
I
have
need to
a
wake
part
up
in
my brain.
Coachella.
I need to wake up my brain because it's actually way earlier than I usually have my brain going at 10 a.m. But anyway, so my grandparents would always get these people that used to party around them and like rent houses around them, and it's just very weird to stick a young person's festival into an old person's city. It's very strange to me, but anyway. We are going to be talking about a lot today. The Padres had good and they had bad. So we had the best of both worlds from the Padres this weekend. We're going to talk about German Marquez and where he is lining up now in the rotation. We're going to talk about Luis Campusano. I'm going to have to say that I was wrong about Luis Campusano, and that's fine. That's fine. I will get into it in a little bit. Also, is Gavin Sheets an everyday first baseman? We're going to talk about that. And there are some numbers that show me he's not. And then there are some things that I think that he is. But Ty France is also someone who's right there. Hit 2 home runs on Saturday. I don't think you can deny that Ty France is putting his best foot forward and trying to get a starting spot on this team. We'll also talk about Nick Castellanos, Adrian Morejon, and what he did. And then the crazy Boston Red Sox firing of Alex Cora and everyone on the coaching staff, basically, to the point where they had no one to manage this team. So they had to call up the AAA manager from AAA Worcester. And I don't know what's happening. Trevor Story is in the media saying that he has no idea what the direction of this team is. You got other guys like Roman Anthony, who I think did a really smart thing when he was asked about it. He's like, I'm going to let the veterans comment on this, which is a really smart idea. You have Garrett Whitlock saying things like this is crazy. So we'll get into that as well. But before we get into the Padres, I have to bring up that Chris and I were at Mavericks Beach Club on Saturday. We were there from 2:30 to 4:30. A lot of people showed up. I appreciate everybody for showing up. We talked to so many different people. We had so many different prizes. And Chris, I will give him this. He came up with some amazing ideas to give away these prizes. First, because there are so many dogs there at Mavericks Beach Club. And thank you to South Norte Premium Tequila Cocktails, who is also a part of this event. We did stupid dog tricks for a prize. So we asked the people in the audience, if you have a dog, does your dog do a stupid dog trick? And so we had about 4 people come up And one of them was awesome. He played dead, but he needed a French fry, Frank, to do that.
Of course.
We had to find him a French fry.
You don't do something you're good at for no pay. Come on.
Yeah, you have to have the French fry. And this guy was a mini Aussie, which I love mini Aussies. And he was 12 and he was cute and worked that French fry, Mr. Mini Aussie. We also we did a lineup announcing contest as well on Saturday. That didn't go as well as the stupid dog tricks, but it still was fun. And I got to give Chris a lot of credit for coming up with all those ideas. But
there you go.
I will say I randomly texted Frank during this thing. And I was like, Frank, what high school did you go to? Just a really random question.
Yeah, that was at the time. Yeah.
And I was like, what years? So what happened was I was sitting down with Ricardo, who listens to the station the entire day. So what's up, Ricardo?
Attaboy.
And he thinks that he played football with you, but I'm not sure that. Okay, there you go. That answers everything. I should have just texted you. Did you play high school football?
I did not play football. But what years did he say he was there?
Around where you said you were, but you did not play football. Do you know a Ricardo?
I probably do. In past, I'm sorry, but I went to San Ysidro High my freshman year in 2008, and then like maybe a month into my sophomore year, I went to Olympian 2009 to 2011.
Where's that?
Graduated in 11. Chula Vista. It's not that far from Otay Ranch and Eastlake.
Oh.
Like kind of in the middle between the two.
Well, anyway, we had this long conversation, Ricardo and I, trying to figure out if you were on his football team in high school. But Ricardo, we just found out.
Yeah, no, I did not play football. No.
On your football team. So we will go forward. But thanks to everybody who showed up to the event. I'm sure Chris will have some things to say a little bit later. I mean, that Saturday game, I was there pretty much until about the 8th inning. And it was not like a great game for us all to watch together because Germán Marquez gave up 4 runs in I believe the 2nd inning, which is something that he's done. And I'm going to get into a deep dive of Germán Marquez here in the next segment, but they went down early. And I have to say, I am not afraid for them to go down early. Even yesterday, when they gave up all those runs, they allowed 10 runs in the 7th and 8th inning yesterday, which is insane. But even when they were down by 5, I'm thinking, this is nothing for this team. This team can make this comeback. And hey, for all the luck that they've had this year and for all the ball bouncing the right way for the Padres this year, yesterday was baseball pretty much telling us, hey, this is how it actually works. I mean, I was driving home from the driving range yesterday. Felt really, really, really good about things. Padres are up 7-2, shut down bullpen. No one gives up runs, but again, baseball smacked us in the face, and the Diamondbacks scored 10 in the 7th and 8th. But the bullpen was the last part of this team that I'm worried about. I'm still not worried about the bullpen. It was a weird game. If you look at what David Morgan did in the bottom of the 7th, Michael King, who had a really nice start yesterday. Unfortunately, I hate when that happens, when Michael King, who doesn't get a lot of run support, finally gets run support, and then they give up the run support for him, and they lose the game. But Michael King said the bullpen got unlucky, and I have to tend to agree a little bit. David Morgan is very reliable most of the time, very, very reliable. He got the first out of the inning with 3 pitches. Then they jumped all over him. Jose Fernandez, 2 pitches. Nolan Arenado, 2 pitches. Alec Thomas, first pitch. Tim Tawa, 2 pitches. 7 pitches later, and 5 runs later, the Padres only led by 1. But we all know it went down the way that it did. Diamondbacks scored 12 runs. We're going to be on this side for at least, 24 hours, which is not a terrible place to be, but it's not my favorite place to be, Frank. What did you think about the weekend?
It was, a solid weekend. You saw some of Manny coming back, which, we'll talk about that a little bit later on in the show. The Stars not starring this season, but it was a solid weekend for the team as a whole. Yesterday's game was just a bump in the road. You do not expect this bullpen to give up 10 runs the way they did. Morgan with 4, Rodriguez with 2, Marinaccio with 4, and then Wandy Peralta comes in and finally closed the door on the game. But every bullpen is going to have a blip every now and again, and this was a blip. Knowing where you're playing, it's high altitude, ball's going to fly. There were issues with, I guess, the firmness of the ground from what I was hearing.
I did read about this. It was like a parking lot, like almost like concrete.
Yeah, the grounders were really messing with guys, eating them up all weekend. So it was not a normal series by any stretch. So if you want to take this entire weekend and just kind of toss it aside as this was not normal, this is far beyond what's expected, I don't have a problem with how this weekend went. You came back, you did what you needed to do against Colorado, and you split against Arizona, which is about as good as you can ask for. And then now you take a little bit of momentum into what is going to be a very windy homestand as you play both the Cubs and the White Sox.
I like that
on this homestand.
I like that, Frank. The windy week, because it is weird how when the Padres go to Chicago, they never can hit up both teams in the same trip. They have to go play the Cubs, then they have to fly to Seattle to play the Mariners, and then they have to fly back to Chicago to play the White Sox. So this is going to be a tough week. The White Sox are not they are a bad team, but they're not the team that they were.
Yeah, they're not pathetic.
And the Rockies, I don't care what people say.
They're not pathetic.
The Rockies are very, I almost said very good. The Rockies are a Major League Baseball team this year.
They're very, very average.
Yes, but they have some young guys that are performing. Yes. Dolander, just striking out. Everyone striking out. Juan Soto the other day. I think it was yesterday. So, the Rockies don't look now. We cannot just sweep the Rockies under the rug anymore. That is not going to happen. The National League West is insanely competitive. There's only 3 teams in baseball with single-digit losses. All come from the National League. 2 of them in the National League West with the Dodgers, Padres, and then the Braves. So, if you're sitting out there and you're thinking, that was a bad loss yesterday, man. That was a terrible loss. No. This is what this team is. Just take a deep breath. Okay. I'm Matt Scraby. That's Frank Marchese. I'm filling in for Braden. He's going to be back tomorrow. When we get back, I have a little gripe with how the setup was for the Mexico City series, and we will talk about German Marquez and where he stands in the rotation next. All right, I got to start building in at least a minute for me to put on my earbuds, Frank, because this is ridiculous. Matt Scraby, Frank Marchese here in the Bill House Studios, where we know how. Braden Surprenant is out. He will be back tomorrow. So it's just me and Frank and I. If my mom's listening, I'm sorry. Frank and I today. Gwen and Chris are going to be still coming at you at 2 p.m. Adam is going to be filling in for me. So we went to break talking about German Marquez, but I'm going to gripe a little bit first, and then we're going to talk about where German Marquez sits in the rotation right now. But the gripe is this: you cannot, if you're going to have these international games, you're going to have to spend the money on making sure everything is the same. Cameras for reviews, because they did a review the other day, and I think Mud goes, I can't even see the ball, to be honest with you. And it was on the Corbin Carroll foul, not foul review. If you're going to have these games, you have to have it set up exactly how a major league game is set up. You need cameras, you need the automated balls of strike system, it needs everything. You cannot be a billions of dollar organization like Major League Baseball and not create a consistent product at the top of the world level. Like, this is crazy. They're like, we're only going to play 2 games in Mexico. We don't need any of that. Like, what if a game came down to an ABS strike or a ball to end the game? Like, I think yesterday, the Mariners, they used ABS. It was a call to strike. It was a ball outside by like 3 feet, hit a home run, won the game. What if that happened in Mexico City to one of these teams? This is the gripe. You cannot be a professional organization and not care about the rules and the fairness and the equality across the league.
No, that's fair. I don't understand how teams have not put cameras on the foul pole. Even just the cool scenic shot of a home run. But also, that's kind of an unobstructed view down the line, is it not? If you have a ball if you have a camera on the foul pole,
that is true. It is an unobstructed view.
I don't know how teams haven't done that yet, but yeah, you have to. If you're especially going to put such a highlight on this series, which, by the way, it's also a major foul.
He draws the foul.
Major foul on Major League Baseball for not making one of these a national game. Not putting one of these on television.
I agree with that, actually.
Either on Fox, FS1, whatever.
Do something.
Or on Peacock on Sunday. You're doing a special series, and you don't highlight it to the national audience. It's just, so what are you playing the series in Mexico City for? At that point.
Apparently, it's just to do grassroots marketing on the ground in Mexico City, because I had a friend who's like, wait, where are the Padres playing this weekend?
I think people in Mexico know about baseball.
Yeah,
it's not a secret down there.
As much as these leagues, NHL's on its own, NBA, NFL, Major League Baseball, they all copy each other. NFL does it best. Major League Baseball is the reverse engineering people, where they look at the end product, they're like, how do we get to that part? And then they just skip all the other parts leading up to it. It was ridiculous. And if they were going to reverse that Corbin Carroll home run or foul ball into a home run, I was going to lose my mind, because it doesn't seem sometimes like the replays that they're watching are the same replays that we're seeing, even though I know that they are. I don't know sometimes what is going through the replay umpire's mind.
Yeah, no, I'm not sure. I'm not sure either. To be honest, it's one of I believe they do have a couple of different cameras possibly that are baseball cameras, but I honestly don't know as far as that's concerned.
Yeah, I don't know either. But bottom line is, Major League Baseball, get it together. Make sure you have ABS there. You've known about this for a long time.
Yeah.
A long time.
It's not like the Diamondbacks and Padres went to baseball and said, "Hey, we're going to play this weekend in Mexico City. I don't know if that's going to mess with your
south.
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to mess with your schedule at all, but we're going to play here this weekend."
Baseball is just happy today that there was no major controversy with ABS over the weekend in Mexico City. I know it's just 1 or 2 games. I'm sorry, but those 2 games, if there was anything, we could point to those at the end of the year being like, hey, remember that game that they didn't have ABS and he struck out on the ball?
But on the flip side to that, there's also going to be a dozen games the other way.
You're right.
Over the course of a season. So those all kind of wash each other.
You're right. I do live in the present too much with baseball. I need to, I've learned over the years, just be patient, especially in first half of the year.
It's not football.
It's not football. And I'm going to be patient. I'm going to be patient with Germán Marquez too, because I think that Germán Marquez has shown to us that there are certain times when he can pitch. The problem with me is that this is what he said after the game on Saturday. 4 runs is nothing for this team, and I'm freaking happy about it, which I would be happy about it too if I'm Germán Marquez. But somehow he made it through 6 innings on Saturday, and I am extremely confused on how I feel about Germán Marquez when you look at the rotation. I'm going to go start by start with him, but his 5 starts so far this year have been good and bad, and it seems to alternate. Earned runs from start 1 to Saturday start: 4, 0, 4, 0, 4. Innings pitched: 3, 5, 5, 5 2/3, and 6. He's getting crushed in the first inning. 9 ERA, 995 OPS, 2 home runs allowed. Second inning is when things get really bad, even though the ERA drops to 7.2, 391 batting average, 982 OPS. Third inning, also not great, 318 batting average, 1.121 OPS, 3 home runs allowed. And then 4 through 6, the second time through the lineup, he locks it down. Innings 1 through 3. He has a 7.2 ERA in 15 innings pitched, 6 homers, 328 average, 1.033 OPS. Innings 4 through 6, 9.2 innings pitched, but a 152 batting average against, and an OPS of 404, and he has not given up any runs in innings 4 through 6. It's always innings 1 through 3. Ultimately, he's won 3 games for this team. He's 3-1, and all of his, I think, out of the last 4 starts, he's won those 3. Ultimately, he gets the job done in the end, but when is that 4 runs in the first 3 innings going to bite the Padres? So when you're talking about Germán Marquez and where he stands in the rotation, is he surpassing Walker Buehler? I don't know yet. Walker Buehler hasn't had great starts, but he's also been on this kind of good, bad trajectory. So if Germán Marquez, think about it. 4 of the 5 starts, he's gone over 5 innings. Walker Buehler has not done that. Walker Buehler has been out of the game before that. So are you looking at him? Is it the length that he goes in the game? Obviously, you want length. You want no runs being given up. But I can't move him up in the rotation until he starts flattening out the earned runs in each start. Because when you go 4-0, 4-0, 4, there's a pattern there. And I don't know what that pattern means. But Germán Marquez is a solid starter right now. I think he can get better, but I cannot move him around the rotation yet.
As we said, Chad, I'll give you guys a second before I go on my tangent. What have we said? Are we looking for a number 5 starter? Anyone in the chat can answer that. I think we know, we've said it already, that this start on Wednesday is going to be Matt Waldron's last start before Griffin Canning comes up, because Canning has to be up by May 4th.
He has his window.
Yeah, because his rehab window is closed, and Waldron's not going to be able to get another start. And of the 3, Waldron has been the least effective of the 3. What you're looking for out of a number 5 starter is 5 innings, 3 runs. That's really all you're looking for. And that's kind of what both Buehler and Marquez have been able to do on a somewhat consistent basis, get you somewhere around there or surpass it. Marquez yesterday, 6 innings, 4 runs, 6 hits, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts, 75 pitches.
Saturday,
sorry. So he can somewhat give you more. The pitch count, that feels like a very, very low pitch count at 75. So he probably could have gone a little bit more. And they both pitched at high altitude.
Yes.
Buehler only went 2 2/3.
Yep.
And German Marquez went went 6. So there's still plenty of time. This injury to Nick Pivetta gave Buehler and Marquez a little bit more time to fight it out. But I think with how Marquez has been able to pitch, and he's been consistently pitching deeper into games, he might have passed Walker Buehler on the which one goes first out of the two.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that. I'm looking at Walker Buehler. I know that he has not gone deep into games as German Marquez, but if you go back to his first start against the Giants, 4 innings, 2 2/3, 6, 5, 2 2/3.
Yeah.
So you're getting more of a mixed bag with Walker Buehler.
And he's getting beat up the second time through the order, which is why I've been saying if you really are insistent on keeping Walker Buehler around, I think a long relief spot instead of Kyle Hart would probably be the better fit for him because he's getting beaten up that second time through the order. And it's becoming more of a labor the deeper into a game that he gets. So maybe you could work him back into the starting rotation again. But I think the most effective position for him right now would be a long reliever instead of Kyle Hart if Kyle Hart were to falter.
And we're talking Walker Buehler.
Yes, Walker Buehler, yes.
Yeah, I don't hate that. And the stats and everything point us in that direction. The one thing I would say, what if we used Walker Buehler as an opener? He's
Could
great
do that too.
in the first 3 innings. Why not? I mean, we saw it with the Rockies. I don't know why they have an opener and why they go 1 inning with a guy. It doesn't make any sense to me, but obviously they know way more about baseball than I do. I would much rather see Walker Buehler start a game, go 3 innings, get out of the game. I mean, he's only giving up first time faced 220, 9 for 41 first time through the lineup. So second time he goes through the lineup, Walker Buehler, 361 batting average. And then third time he only has 5 at-bats because he hasn't made it that far, but 400 batting average on those at-bats. I think that eventually they are going to have to make this decision. And I think you're probably on the right path with what they're going to do because a 4th and 5th starter is their job is to eat innings and keep your team in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what German Marquez does. Although I do not like that he gives up the 4 runs early in the game.
I understand that and I agree with you. But at least it's early in the game. You have time to make it up, especially if he's going to be a lockdown pitcher the second or possibly third time he goes through the lineup. Granted, it's not good to spot your opponent 3-4 runs early in the game. He's been giving up a lot of home runs this season as well. But I look at it as you at least have some time to make it up instead of later.
And this is and this team what did the my neighbor always has really interesting baseball takes. He called them the Rally Cap Kids because my neighbor's a little bit older. He called them the Rally Cap Kids. And I'm like, okay, I can't argue with you because they do rally from deficits and end up winning. So I can't argue that it's not the Rally Cap Kids, but I don't really trust that too much. Or I don't really like the Rally Cap Kids name too much, Frank. But anyway, that's what they do. They come back and win games. All right. I'm Matt Scraby. That's Frank Marchese. We are filling in for Braden today on 97.3 The Fan. Gwen and Chris still going to be on from 2 until 5:40. You'll have Chris Ello, Tony Gwynn Jr., and Adam will be in for me. When we get back, we're going to talk about the Reaper and how great Mason Miller has been. Also, there's something up with the Odyssey men's restroom, and we have to talk about it on the other side. 97.3 The Fan. First hour almost in the books with Frank Marchese. I am Matt Scraby. This is the Braden Surprenant show. He is off today. He will be back tomorrow. So everything will be back to normal tomorrow. Adam is in for me this afternoon during Gwen and Chris, and then I will be back in my chair tomorrow. We're going to talk about Mason Miller here in this segment. We're also going to, I want to talk briefly at the end, and Frank, hopefully I remember, there's major news out about a Texas Tech quarterback, Brendan Sorsby, that just came out. Even Jeff Passan is retweeting because it's that big of a deal. But Pete Thamel released or sent out a tweet saying, and of course I click, I hate these push notifications because I click it. It should take me to the tweet, but it didn't. It took me back to the app. But he said, Pete Thamel reports sources, Texas Tech transfer quarterback Brendan Sorsby is checking into a residential treatment program for a gambling addiction. He's under NCAA investigation in the wake of a discovery of Sorsby making thousands of bets via a gambling app. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. We'll talk about the Reaper. We're going to get into Jake Cronenworth later in the show. We're going to get into, is Gavin Sheets an everyday player? Should Ty France be the everyday first baseman? Well, we still have all of that to go. We're also going to check in with Jaden Taylor. He is the Fort Wayne TIGCAPS broadcaster, so we'll get an update on what's going on in Fort Wayne. All I know is after looking through some of that stuff, Frank, Cash Mayfield, it seems to be for real.
Yeah, he's looking very, very good, and he's one of the Padres' top prospects, top 5 prospects. So you know what that means. Enjoy this first half of the season with him.
They got Cruz Schoolcraft and they got Cash Mayfield. I was looking at something else. Baseball America put out, I wish I would remember his name. I didn't get the article because I had to pay for it and I couldn't pay for it.
Naturally.
But there's another guy in the minor leagues that is tearing up the minor leagues for the Padres, a position player. So the minor leagues are not as barren as everybody says they are.
And that's why we're doing these segments. We'll have I'm sorry, I forget his name. We'll have him on next week.
Taylor.
No, the broadcaster for Lake Elsinore. We'll have him on next week to discuss what's going on with them. And then after that, we'll be right back around the horn. Tim Haggerty on the next Monday, then Brian Janselson the next for San Antonio. So we're going to be every Monday. We're going to try every Monday because it's the minor leagues day off. We're going to try to get the broadcaster for each affiliate on throughout the season to kind of keep everyone up to date as to what's going on down in the minors.
Very nice. Cole says Jace Bowen. No, that's not who I was talking about. I'll get that in a second. It was a different player because I know Jace Bowen is tearing it up.
Yeah, he's been very, very good. We highlighted him a couple weeks ago.
Coming into the season, we talked about how this roster's not complete. Proves again that I need to wait until opening day for me to judge the roster because now we have too many guys. We have too many guys that need to be on the team. Sung Moon Song made his debut yesterday. Pinch ran. He's going to be back. What does that mean for Nick Castellanos?
No, he was up just.
He was the 27th
guy, so he should be back in El Paso.
If they're thinking he's ready to debut in Mexico City, don't you think that he's ready to be on the roster? On the major league roster?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Because you need that one extra guy, and they thought it better have a fielder than a pitcher. He just got reassigned, and that's pretty much from what we heard from Tim Haggerty. That's how they've been using him, really, as kind of a late defensive pinch running guy down in AAA. So possibly, I think if they thought that he was ready, they wouldn't have assigned him to AAA after he came off the IL. I think they still want him to work a little bit.
I could buy that a little bit. I think they also want to give Nick Castellanos a little bit more time. We'll get into him a little bit later. He's a conundrum. I guess he's not really a conundrum, but I do feel like there's something left in there. I feel like he's just not built to be a pinch hitter / off day specialist. I think, and there's no room for him in the lineup.
No.
And there's no room to get him at bats to get going.
Especially with how good Miguel Andujar has played.
Yeah, Ty France too. There's plenty of options on this team. And Nick Castellanos seems to be one of the odd men out. Yeah. And we'll talk about that. But I want to bring up something that Nerdman said on the chat real quick.
Okay.
Nerdman, we were talking about Brendan Sorsby getting in trouble for gambling. He said, just one more parlay, bro, which is every addicted gambler of all time. I'm just gonna hit on this next parlay. I promise you. Give me $1,000, Frank. I'm gonna turn this into 5. Okay.
Yep.
Give me $1,000. I'll turn it into 5. That's how it works.
Do you accept Monopoly money?
No.
Then I do not have $1,000 to give you. I'm sorry.
That is a smart choice by you. Now I went to break saying something about the Odyssey bathroom, and the comments in here are gross. Okay. They said Scraby is the Reaper in the bathroom, which is not true. So Friday, Chris and I are doing the show. Yeah, Friday. Chris and I are doing the show. He goes to the bathroom at like 5 something. Mm-hmm. Comes back. He goes, don't go in there. And I'm like, what did you do? He was like, no. It's not me. It's not me. I walked in. He's like, I almost had to walk back out because it was so disgusting. But I put my shirt over my nose and I went for it. So I was thinking,
Brave
okay,
the elements.
it's just a public restroom. Things happen. I came in today and used it at 9:30, and it still smells like sewage. So I gotta think there is some sort of leak happening in the bathroom. Frank, will you go in there real quick and smell it for me, please? Please?
No.
Come on. You got to tell everybody about it.
I will not.
Go in there and go.
That is.
Just take a.
He draws the foul.
That's a foul on you for even suggesting that. No.
I think you need to go in there and just confirm for everyone here.
I think I don't.
Okay.
As a matter of fact.
Well, you're going to have to go to the bathroom at some point. So you're going to have to go in there at some point.
Yeah, you see, you say that.
You're going to sit there for all 4 hours and not use the restroom?
I always do.
That is crazy. That is insane. And no, I did not do it, people on the chat. I did not. I swear to you. It doesn't happen when I'm around, but it happens when other people are around. I mean, the bathrooms are disgusting here to begin with. You got paper towels all over the floor. I mean, we've talked about this on Gwen and Chris. The community dude wipes also, like, they have signs in there that says, please make sure you flush. Like, what? Okay.
People are fun, huh?
Chris says, send Scraby to the restroom. 2-minute minor in the penalty box. Ooh, ill619 said, smells like Crony's batting average. Ooh, that's tough.
But
he draws the foul.
That's a
I don't think
foul.
it is.
No,
I don't think it is.
It's true, and we've established on this show things may be funny, and we may agree with them, but that doesn't mean that doesn't mean you don't get a foul.
Drunninit says toilet talk. Okay, I think I've reached the limit of toilet talk on the show for at least this hour, Frank. For at least this hour, I get at least 5 minutes of toilet talk each hour. All right, we are going to talk about the Reaper, and I love the name the Reaper. Do you think that Mason Miller loves the name the Reaper? He's such a nice guy.
I mean, nicknames aren't what you prefer them to be. They're given to you and they stick.
Yeah. I mean, he has a really cool entrance. Are you ready? I still get goosebumps thinking about it. And he's good enough to be called the Reaper.
Oh, for sure.
Because he has now set the Padres' consecutive scoreless innings record at 34 2/3 innings. He did this on Saturday, and he did it quite easily. Clay Meredith is now second in team history for consecutive scoreless innings. I know Clay Meredith sent out a nice video congratulating Mason Miller on it, so that's pretty cool. But Mason Miller has 10 saves on the year. I haven't even seen him struggle yet. There's been some points where maybe some guys have gotten on base, but it's weak hits. It's nothing. I haven't seen him struggle, Frank.
I think it was either Thursday or Friday, we just went through his numbers, like his game logs. And every time we went through his game logs, something else stood out.
What?
The fact that he's only thrown more than 15 pitches twice this season.
How many does it have the total pitches he's thrown?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. How many total pitches?
157.
And that's in 10 appearances?
1, 2, 3, 4. 13.
Wait, I guess he did have non-save situations.
Yeah.
So
116 strikes.
116 strikes. How many balls?
What's 116 minus 157?
Oh gosh, you're asking me to do math.
Why would you?
157, 120 is 37 plus 4 is 41.
Sure.
All right, we're gonna stop doing math on the air.
The fact that his last 2 outings are the only 2 where he hasn't struck anyone out, and he only has only had one outing before these last 2 where he struck out less than 2.
Yeah, I do know that his strikeouts have been decreasing at an alarming rate, Frank. No, he's still getting the outs. I want people to be prepared.
He threw 20 pitches total in his last 2 appearances.
I want people to be prepared, and I'm not putting this out in the universe because it's a baseball season. It's baseball, so this would have happened whether or not I said this. But I want people to be prepared because there will be a time this year where he is not going to have his best stuff, and he is going to blow a save. But let's enjoy what he's doing right now. He's the talk of baseball, not just the talk of San Diego Padres fans, not just the talk of National League people. He's the talk of baseball right now and what he's doing.
He had back-to-back outings where he was one pitch away from an immaculate inning.
Yeah, I saw his promo. Where is it? There is a promo for his bobblehead that's coming up, and it's not on these things, but they were marketing whether it's an immaculate inning or 100 and something mile an hour fastball, but they can market immaculate inning because it is a possibility every time he goes out there. And Mason Miller, I don't care who you are. Mason Miller, trading for him last year was the absolute right move. Leonidas DeVries might be a great player, seemingly seems to be on a track to be a great player. But Mason Miller is doing it all for the Padres right now. And I can't see a universe where people think that AJ Preller made the wrong move. And I even said this back, when I first saw the trade, I was like, oh no, they just gave away Leonidas DeVries, which we've been propping up this entire time. We've been saying that he's the next great player. He's the next prospect. And then I found out it was for Mason Miller, and I'm like, okay, cool. I could take Mason Miller. And I know people were on the fence about this trade, but I don't know anyone anymore that's on the fence. I mean, have you talked to anyone, Frank, that's like, they should have never made that trade for Mason Miller?
And you know what the best part is? He gives you roster freedom.
How's that?
He's got 3 options left.
Oh, Mason Miller? You're never going to option him. But I guess if you want roster, if he needs an arm, rest or arm fatigue or something,
he is arbitration eligible after next year. He is not going to be a free agent until 2030. You have him for a while, Padre fans. Sit back and enjoy the nastiness that he delivers every single time he goes on the mound, because every time we watch him, especially for me in the press box, my first thought is, if I'm the hitter, I'm turning around, looking in the dugout and asking, you expect me to hit off this guy?
Yeah.
What do you want me to do with this?
If he's not blowing a 103 mile an hour fastball by you, he's throwing a slider that just absolutely hits the corner in the right spot where you have no chance of hitting it. And if he doesn't have those 2 pitches working for him, he has a changeup as well. He's, I guess I would have thought he was more of a thrower before he came to San Diego, but he's a pitcher. He actually likes throwing his slider more than he likes throwing his fastball. And it's just one of those things where you have to see that AJ Preller knows what he's doing. So if this is one of those things where you're like, I don't like AJ makes the wrong moves for this team, I don't know what you're watching.
Because I've been on that boat too. Like I appreciate the prospect that comes up, like the Jackson Merrill that comes up through the system and becomes a star. With a guy like AJ Preller at the helm, you don't get that often. But even with that said, the last few major trades that he's made, to get Juan Soto, to get rid of Juan Soto, to now bringing in Mason Miller, you can't argue with anything that he's done.
No,
because it's done nothing but help.
I mean, I guess the things that you could argue with is that he brought in like Matt Carpenter for 2 years and paid him $26 million
for sure.
But for the most part, he's put this team in a really, really good position. And Craig Stammen looks great right now because the team is winning. So there's not a lot to be mad about right now, but I'm sure I can find something, and we'll try for the rest of the show. When we get back, the superstars are not superstarring, or are they? We'll tell you next. Is this coming live from where Braden is right now at Stagecoach? You pumping in some live music, Frank? Braden Surprenant is out. He is at Stagecoach. He will be back tomorrow. I am Matt Scraby. That is Frank Marchese. And we are just talking about the Padres weekend. It was a solid weekend. I know that they lost yesterday. I know that they gave up a bunch of runs, which wasn't my favorite. I know it wasn't any of your favorite, but it's baseball. It's going to happen. They scored some runs, and there was something to take from yesterday, and that would be Manny Machado hitting 2 home runs. Now, I don't care if it's Mexico City. As long as he gets his swing working, that's all we care about.
So Luis Campusano have a big day, too. Had a home run, had a double as well.
Good point.
He's been incredible.
You know what? Let's do that right now. Let me go to my section of the notes where I wrote down where I need to apologize to Luis Campusano because I was wrong about him. I said the Padres should cut bait and move forward in spring training because he wasn't hitting well, or he wasn't hitting in spring training. And, maybe if Craig Stammen isn't the manager, he might be elsewhere because Craig Stammen has said multiple times that he loved pitching to Luis Campusano when he was pitching, said he was a nice big target back there, said that he did a lot of things right. Just need the bat to get going. Well, the bat has gotten. The bat is going. Gotten is not the right. Oh, gotten? Is that a word?
It's gone going. Yeah.
Okay. But I need to apologize because I said move on from him. Get rid of him. It's time to cut bait because we've seen what he could do. And the Padres are investing way too much time. They're investing way too much energy, and they're investing way too much money in Luis Campusano. Time to cut bait. It's a good thing they didn't listen to me.
Silly man.
Yeah, it's a good thing they didn't listen to me.
Silly little boy, you.
And so I'm wrong. But, Luis Campusano is proving why the Padres did not cut ties with him over the last few years of struggles. And they are being rewarded for keeping him with the team, giving him chances, giving him opportunities. He has been great so far this year. He's hitting .359 in 40 at-bats this year. His OPS is 1.145, and he's hit 3 homers. So you can't ask for anything more. And now I'm even seeing people saying, hey, why not make him the starting catcher over Freddie Fermin? I think those guys are interchangeable at this point. I think that they have their plans where they're going to alternate. I think that's how they're going to try to keep them fresh. But Campusano began the season 0 for 6. But since then, he's hitting .350. Oh, I'm sorry. He's not hitting .359. That was a little thing on the screen. That was a piece of dirt on the screen that made it look like a 9. He's hitting .350. While he has fewer than half the plate appearances needed to be a qualifying hitter, he leads the Padres in batting average, OBP, on base percentage, slugging percentage, and OPS. So, the evidence for us was there, Frank, for years. This guy probably doesn't have what the Padres are looking for, but he does. And it's nice to see it happening. I heard what he said in the clubhouse. What was it, last week or 2 weeks ago, when they asked him what's been the biggest difference for you this year? And he said, I can't say the word, but he said, I just don't really care anymore. Kind of. He didn't say that phrase. He said a different phrase. And I think that is the perfect mindset for someone like Luis Campusano. He's got nothing to lose. Nothing.
No, we knew that he was going to get every single opportunity that he could get this season. It was his last chance. He's out of options. He's done after this year. This was it. This was either show you're a major leaguer or you're not. They said that pretty much right from the start of camp when they didn't bring in another catcher. They didn't bring in an Elias Diaz or a Martin Maldonado type who could come in and back him up just in case he doesn't succeed. We've been sitting here talking for the last year or so.
You can say years.
Well, not even that. It's not about Campusano. Is that you needed a bridge to get to Ethan Salas.
Gotcha.
And that's what Freddie Fermin more or less gives you. He gives you a bridge to Ethan Salas. And right now, Luis Camposano, with what he's done, I wouldn't be surprised if he does turn into the starting catcher. You go with the hot hand at this point, and Campy has been the hot hand. You cannot deny his bat, and he has done very, very well. We've said on this show, be patient with him because he's your only guy. He is your only other option. Rodolfo Duran, if he was going to be the option, he might have been here already. So they gave him every option. They gave him every opportunity, and he has now repaid that, and he is getting more at bats, getting quality playing time, not just once or twice a week. If you're in a full-on platoon situation right now at catcher, you go with the hot hand as your starter, and right now that's Luis Camposano.
Yeah, it is Luis Camposano, and I'm glad that everybody on the chat is saying the same thing. Like, we were all wrong about this, so it wasn't just me. But one of the things that I do need to do, because I might yell a little bit louder than other people, I do need to tell people when I'm wrong, and this is one of those cases. And it's one of those catch-22s, is, you know, where I say I hope I'm wrong, and then they're great and everything's fine. But then if you're not wrong and they are terrible, then it's all bad. So it's one of those things. And McKee says, I'm glad he's not tinkering with his batting stance too and just letting go like he said. There was another comment here I wanted to read. Oh, Fridge Washer. Great name. Scraby wants Campy to lead off. That is not true. I am a big fan of having a bat in the late part of your lineup, the 7, 8, 9 parts of your lineup. Do you want Jake Cronenworth hitting 9th or 8th? Probably not right now. Jake is having a really hard time at the plate. Do you want Luis Camposano with some power in the 8th or 9th spot? Yeah, I do. I want Luis Camposano to be able to get on base, turn it over for Ramon Laureano and Fernando Tatis Jr., and see what happens. I like having guys at the end of the order. That's why I wanted Luis Ariz at like the 7th spot last year, just to get someone who's not an automatic out. But if he keeps hitting like this, I don't know. He's going to be moving down to the 5th spot. I don't know that he'll ever break the top 4, maybe on like a day off for other guys or stuff like that. But I don't know that he'll ever break the top 4 of the lineup. But you can't look away anymore. He's doing this on a consistent enough basis that this is what you're getting.
Yeah, for sure. He is that guy right now. He is the most productive hitter. We talked about it with Ramon Laureano earlier on in this year with how hot he started. Xander Bogaerts had a solid start to the year, and now he's leveling off and being that consistent batter in the middle of the order. I still like having Campy batting towards the bottom of the order. You're right. It spreads the wealth around. You do get a dangerous bat in the bottom of the order, especially now it's working for him. So you don't want to tinker with it. You don't want to change anything. So yeah, I wouldn't rush to moving Camposano anywhere other than where he is right now, but he has been absolutely fantastic. And I just saw somebody else mention, I told you guys when they signed him, you guys were going to love Miguel Andujar.
Mm-hmm.
I was very, very jealous of the Yankees, watching him come up, knowing that he was there, followed him in Los Oaklamento. He was very, very good with the A's.
Sorry, what? Los Oaklamento?
Yeah. Las Vegas, Oakland, and Sacramento.
Okay. You can't put Oakland. I mean, you know that they're going to send you a fine now that you said that.
Well, no, it was the broadcasters for San Francisco, the television broadcast.
I love them.
They called them the Oaklamento A's last year.
Oh, that's fine with me.
Yeah.
All right. If they came up with it, was a Kruk and Kipe.
Yes, it was.
Okay.
I believe so. And then we added the Los because they're going to Vegas. So Los Oaklamento. I told you guys you were going to love Miguel Andujar. And he has been fantastic. He has been everything I thought he was going to be here. And he is thriving. He's hitting, 311 right now. So he is thriving in the role that he has been given, and not just hitting only against lefties like he brought him in to do. He's hitting against everyone.
He is hitting against everyone. Xander Bogaerts leads the team right now, 278. Someone said on the chat, Well, Scraby obviously doesn't listen to any of your shows, Mr. Augie. I would like to tell you I have another job sometimes, and so I'm not listening because of that. Also, I'm in the back sometimes getting ready for the show. So
I never listen to your show anyway, so it's fine.
I wouldn't either. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I love those guys. They're going to be
especially not
later.
Today, since you're not a part of it.
Yeah, don't listen to it. No, I shouldn't say that. I feel like I'm going to get a text from them or Adam pretty soon. Real quick, we're going to actually talk about the superstars not superstarring or superstarring in the next segment because we got kind of carried away with Luis Campusano, rightfully so. But Jake Cronenworth, I'm seeing a lot of people out there that have given up on him, and I would like to say it's bad right now. He's hitting 155. 497 OPS, 1 home run, 4 RBIs, 20 strikeouts. His at-bats look uncomfortable. But I would like to say to all the people out there that want to DFA or to trade him, be patient. Because we've seen Jake turn it around a little bit. Frank's he's biting his tongue over there. We'll get your thought, Frank. You got to be patient because we know that he's a good fielding second baseman. Although yesterday, that whole thing with Jake and Xander coming together and then Jake having to dive and try to get the guy out, which ended up contributing to the grand slam because he dove and didn't get there. Could have been a double play too to end the inning. Anyway, just let's be patient. He doesn't even have 100 at bats yet. And Frank has in the notes, when is too early, quote unquote? When can we stop using that? And I'm going to take a line out of my friend Tony Gwynn Jr.'s book. You cannot judge anything until you get to about July 1st. As long as your team is hanging in there, you can't get what their sample size is until they have 150, 200 at-bats. Right now, Jake's got 84 at-bats. Frank, your thoughts?
I really don't know what to say about Jake anymore. His swing is so. The angle that the angle that I was sitting in the press box in Anaheim, like I said on last week, you could really see the uppercut.
When did you go to the press box in Anaheim?
Friday. I went to the game on Friday.
Oh, I went to the game on Saturday. We missed each other. 2 ships in the night.
You could really see the uppercut in his swing and how bad it is and how apparent it is that he's trying to do something that just is not working. He needs a full-on swing restructuring. He's not a power hitter. He's not. He has to know what he is, and if he's not going to, if he isn't trying to be a power hitter, it's not working for him. He really needs to level that swing out and go gap to gap because that's the kind of player he is. He's never had that type of pop. And when he found it, he liked it. He was trying to get a contract. He's got it. He's got the contract. Just go back to doing what got you to the big leagues. I go back to what Pete Rose said years ago on MLB Network. When you're in a slump or when you're struggling, there are 4 changes you make. Up in the box, back in the box, close to the plate, back away from the plate. You never change your swing because your swing is what got you to the big leagues. Jake has changed his swing because he did not have this swing when he got here, and he's doing nothing but pounding the ball into the ground, especially on breaking balls. We replayed our deep dive on Jake Cronenworth's swing on Friday during the Best Of show. He has a problem that needs to be fixed, and it's not working right now.
It's not. Again, he's hitting 155. His OPS is 497. But I see on the chat, he had one good year and that's it. That's not true. I don't think that he only had one good year.
His offensive production, as far as his average, has gone down every year except for last year.
Okay, so 2020, we're going to throw
last year went up.
2021, he hit 266, OPS of 800, 21 homers, 71 RBIs. Solid season right there.
That's
so don't
season.
say that he hasn't done anything. 2022, 17 homers, 88 RBIs, which is solid. 239 batting average, 722 OPS.
How many doubles did he have?
2021, 33. 2022, 30.
Okay.
And he had 3 less triples. He's always a triples machine, it seems like.
Yes, he's quick.
2023, this is where this season really stunk for him. I think he also broke his hand at the end of the year when he got hit by a pitch. He hit 229, 10 home runs, 48 RBIs, 690 OPS. 2024, 241, 17 homers, 83 RBIs. Another solid season, in my opinion. 714 OPS. 2025, 246 batting average, 744 OPS, 11 homers, 59 RBIs, and just 20 doubles in 135 games.
He went chasing power, and all of his numbers have suffered because of it.
Do we think he's chasing power, or do we think that he is just trying to put the ball in play?
If you're trying
is this his new, is this something that he's doing knowingly?
He's trying to get an uppercut in his swing. He's trying to get power, but he's trying to get under the ball. He's trying to get launch angle. It's not working for him. He did not have this type of swing when his career started. So he has changed something, and you can see that his numbers have gone down ever since.
What numbers are we looking at, though?
The first 2 years compared to his last couple.
I know, but what stats are we specific?
For me right now, it's average home runs and RBIs, just looking at basic stats. That's why I asked you how many doubles he had from year 1 to year 2, because he had gone down in home runs, but he had gone up in RBIs. That's why I asked you how many doubles he had.
Yeah, that's the 30. And then he had 24, 29, 20 last year. He's only had 2 this year, which obviously is because he isn't hitting the ball at all. It's not time, people. In my opinion, it's not time for him to go. He's a part of this team. I know why people want him to go is because you know what happens. They're going to put Fernando at second base. Who do
you have in left field? Who do you have in right field?
Not Nick Castellanos.
Yeah, you don't want Nick Castellanos in there, and you don't want Bryce. And you don't want Bryce Johnson there every single day.
No, but you could put Song at second base too.
And you don't know what he looks like in the major leagues.
You don't, but you're going to have to see it eventually.
You are going to have to see it eventually. You're right, but do you want to see it with no way out of it?
I think this is like
answer
the Manny
that is
thing.
No.
I think this is like the Manny thing. It's got to swing until it feels good. I don't see another way, Frank. I don't see another way. Oh, Adam, our boss.
Sheets.
He's disagreeing with me. He said Sheets in left field,
Laureano
right field, Andujar, Castellanos at DH first base. I don't quite know Andujar's defense, but I do not want to see Castellanos anywhere near first base for a little bit. All right, we got to go to break. When we get back, superstars, are they superstarring? Are they not? We'll talk about that. I am Matt Scraby, filling in for Braden Surprenant today. That is Frank Marchese. Back shortly on 97.3 The Fan. Back here in the Bill House Studios, where we know how, 97.3 The Fan. Thanks to everybody who has contributed to the show and listened to the show so far. I'm with Frank Marchese. He is going to be here with me until 2 p.m. Gwen and Chris still the same. Adam's going to be in for me, so that's the only difference. And I will be back with them tomorrow. Braden will be back in this chair tomorrow. But 5 minutes ago, Padres tweeted, "We have returned infielder Sung Moon Song to El Paso from being the 27th man for the Mexico City series." I guess good thing is Mexico City and El Paso are kind of close. Won't be that much of a flight, but I know that there's some disappointed people out there hoping that he would take the job of Jake Cronenworth. I'm telling you, it's not going to happen.
I don't know if he's going to El Paso. Hold on.
Well, that's what the Padres told me.
Well, no, I know he's going to be playing for El Paso. I just don't know if that's the city he's going to.
Oh,
he'll be going to Albuquerque, New Mexico. Actually,
still kind of close.
As they will play, as El Paso gets set for a 5-game set against the Albuquerque Isotopes.
You know,
or
Tony,
6-game set, I should say.
Do you know? I don't know if you know this, Frank, that Alex Bregman, growing up, was from Albuquerque, went to a bunch of Isotopes games, looked up to Tony Gwynn Jr. as a kid. Loved Tony Gwynn Jr.
Nice.
For the Isotopes.
Oh, so that'll be a fun little homecoming tonight with the Cubbies here.
I actually don't know if they've ever met and talked about that specifically, but I do know over the years we have learned that he was a Tony Gwynn Jr. fan when he was a kid in Albuquerque.
Oh, there you go. Tonight's the night then.
Tonight's the night, Tony. Make sure you go down there. You get a picture with Alex Bregman. I mean, kind of makes me feel a little bit old because I'm only 2 years younger, 3 years younger than Tony. And Alex Bregman is now, well into his major league career, and he was a fan of Tony growing up. So I think that's pretty awesome. We are going to be talking about the superstars in this segment and whether or not they're superstarring. Just wanted to go back real quick to what they could do with the defense if they take Jake out. I personally don't know that it's the best idea if Jake Cronenworth gets a rest for Fernando Tatis Jr. to be playing second base on a daily basis. I have some hesitations to making him a full-time or even majority time second baseman because his arm is just too valuable in right field. His speed is just too valuable in right field. His ability to rob home runs is too valuable in right field. Adam, our boss, suggested you put Sheets in left, you put Ramon Laureano in right, and then you put either Castellanos or Ty France at first base. I would much rather have Ty France at first base and Gavin Sheets DHing than any of the other combinations. Like, if you look at what Ty France is doing so far this year, he has been awesome. And I first off, I question why other teams did not look at Ty France more. He's a Gold Glove winning first baseman. Obviously, he can still hit for power. He's a good. I'm gonna say he's a great addition to this team so far. I would much rather see Ty France at first base and Gavin Sheets DHing than Gavin Sheets in left field, Castellanos at first base. It's just I don't want to see Castellanos at first base anymore.
No, and if you put Jake Cronenworth on the bench, let's play the game now. We'll put Jake on the bench. You now have 2 holes on the bench in him and Castellanos. So this deep bench that you just had, or that you supposedly just had, has now gotten very, very thin. And for all of you who are saying we want Sung Moon Song, you don't know what he is.
You don't.
You don't know what he is at the major leagues yet.
You do know what Ty France is.
Yeah, you know what Ty France is. So, I mean, if you're by benching Jake Cronenworth right now, you are shortening up the bench in a major way. And Freddie Fermin, you're going to be reluctant to use him because you never know when he's going to have to come in to catch if you're going to pinch run with in place of Luis Camposano later. You need a catcher. So Freddie Fermin,
you're not going to, you always have to have two catchers.
Right. So you don't know, you've shortened the bench up to the point where you almost have no bench at that point. Are you going to trust Castellanos in a big spot?
No.
To get a hit? You going to trust Jake Cronenworth in a big spot to get a hit?
Yes. No. The answer is no.
Are you going to hit Freddie Fermin knowing that you may have to put Bryce Johnson in to run for Camposano later in the game?
These are all great questions.
So all of this to say that getting rid of Jake Cronenworth right now is not the best idea. The best thing the Padres can do is try to wait for him to come out of this. And to be fair, and you guys aren't going to like this, you guys aren't going to like hearing this, but he's earned the right with this organization to have enough leash to work his way out of this.
I don't disagree. And I think people are way too quick to DFA the guy who's playing the worst on the team. You know how many times we've DFA'd Xander Bogaerts in San Diego?
Exactly.
Probably 175 times over the years.
Right. So the fact that the Padres are doing the best thing that they can do with Jake and with the second base position right now, you're not going to jettison him before figuring out whether or not Sung-Moon Song can play at this level every single day. Period.
I agree.
So unfortunately, the second base position right now is where it is. And Jake is kind of is where it is. And I'm sorry, Commendatore, if you're out, then I understand. But that's where they're at right now with this team.
You know what would help a lot? Because I do like in baseball how the superstars aren't superstarring, and we complain about the 26th guy on the roster. Oh, this guy can't get on base. This guy. Now, Jake Cronenworth is not the 26th man on the roster, so I agree. He's a starting player. They came into the year with him being the starting second baseman, so I understand that he has more to prove and more to do than other players. But if the superstars are not going to do their thing, then Jake Cronenworth, what he does doesn't matter. They are getting away with winning games right now without being able to hit as much as you would want them to. And Fernando still doesn't have a home run. He has a 623 OPS. A 250 average is actually better than I thought it was going to be. Jackson Merrill, I got to say, he looks lost right now. 214 average, 3 homers, 14 RBIs, 642 OPS, and he's striking out a lot. Jackson Merrill is.
And for everyone saying how much of a pest Jake Cronenworth is and how much he gets on base, both him and Jackson Merrill have the same on base percentage at 283. Jackson's not doing much.
That's crazy.
They have the same OPS.
Manny
on base percentage.
Manny 209, 4 homers, 16 RBIs, 690 OPS, and that's with the 2 home runs from yesterday. I'm assuming.
Yes, that is with the 2 home runs.
If that sparks Manny, because he did say he's been changing things in his swing slowly. He has said he's tried different things. I'm not too worried about Manny. I am a little worried about Fernando at this point. And number one, I don't think I'm ever going to get my dream of seeing him hit in the cleanup spot. It's just not going to happen, even though I thought it was going to happen.
You got to do something now because you've had these 3 in this order the entire season, and all 3 of them are hitting under 250. Fernando's hitting the ball hard. Metrically, he's hitting the ball hard. His bat speed is there. Same thing with Jake. His bat speed's there, but the production isn't there. You're going to have to do something with the 3 of them, shake them up in some sort of order, some sort of way to get them all going. And I think if you're going to do something like that, you're going to need to, I would say, Merrill, Fernando, Manny, possibly to start off, and then have Laureano hit 4th, or you could do Manny, Merrill, Fernando.
Manny won't bat anywhere but the 3 spots.
Hit 2, 3, and 4. But my thing is, if you're trying to get Jackson going, he hasn't been hitting all year, and he's had Manny hitting behind him all year. So I want to get Manny out from behind him to see if that sparks anything. So that's why I say Manny, Fernando, Jackson, 2, 3, and 4. They're coming up on a point. They have to be coming up on a point where they have to figure out a way to get all of them firing, and it might be a lineup change in those 3.
It could be. And I don't see the Padres having any. I don't see them having any aversion to changing up the lineup, because I think for the first 17 games of the year we had 17 different lineups. Yeah. They're gonna have to do something. You know what? We're past our break time, so when we get back, we'll continue this conversation, and we also still have our check-in with Jaden Taylor, Fort Wayne TIGCAPS broadcaster, and we have a lot more to go here on. I almost said the Scraby Show, which is kind of, but not really. It's technically the Braden Surprenant Show. He'll be back tomorrow. That's Frank Marchese with me. More Padres talk on 97.3 The Fan. Didn't know I was going to dance so much when I when I did this show, Frank. There's a lot of good dancing right there, and I've said this before, but my dancing is mainly only me move my shoulders up and down. So that's mainly my dancing over here.
I had to do a dance this weekend, apparently.
What?
So I have a season credential for San Diego FC.
Okay.
And I don't remember if it was last week or this week. We finally got them. We finally got the actual hard card because we've been getting just day passes ever since. And the girl at the credential pickup was like, okay, one rule with these though is you have to do a dance because you're finally getting the card after like 2 months. So I did a little shimmy, and that was enough to give me the card.
Okay, very nice, very nice. That you know what I also don't like about the daily passes. I am someone who keeps a lot of my stuff.
I have every daily pass I've ever gotten.
But the daily passes, like when I went up to Anaheim, it was a sticker.
Yep, same. I had the same issue.
You can't use the daily pass.
Nope.
You can't save the daily pass is what I mean. Mm-hmm. So I have a bunch of my Super Bowl Radio Row credentials. I have a bunch of things, different Padres years. But I went to the Mets, and they gave me a hard pass. It's very cool, but that is unfortunate that you got those daily passes. Yeah, but now you have one that you could save.
Yeah, I got... I have all of my credentials that I've ever gotten from this station are all hanging up.
Oh, they're hanging up. Mine are in a...
I have... Well, they're hung up around a thumbtack, so it's not like they're displayed. It's not like they're properly displayed or anything, but they're all hanging up they're all collecting. I'm going to need a bigger thumbtack soon.
I think I got like at least 50 at this point. 50
I'm probably around
type of things.
Too,
I went to Cooperstown. I got one of those. I got some cool stuff. But glad you went to the game. We're going to talk about SDFC towards the end of the show. We are going to keep talking Padres and the superstars not superstarring. One thing I will say about Fernando, and I heard Woods addressing this as I was driving in this morning, but you can't tell a guy's happiness by the way he looks walking back from the plate after he strikes out. Okay. You cannot tell me that he's depressed or he doesn't want to play anymore. Woods made I'm just going to steal his point because it was so good. Fernando is the first one to celebrate with his teammates if something good happens. Fernando is the first one who's out there congratulating guys. So can we stop for a second? Wouldn't you, being Fernando, not having any home runs, seemingly not hitting the ball very well. I mean, he's hitting the ball hard, but he's not hitting it. He's getting unlucky. Wouldn't you be a little depressed as well? Wouldn't you strike out and be like, man, this stinks. Yep. I am mad, and I'm not going to smile on the way back to the dugout.
Yeah, pretty much.
Elisa said, the body language experts wear me the bleep out. I agree. They wear me the bleep out as well, because there's a lot of them out there. Mm-hmm. Fernando's going to be okay. Next time he hits a home run and he's crying around the bases, tell me, because then we got a problem. Okay. We will continue to talk about that, but I forgot. We have this.
Oh, we do?
Sportsnet?
You know that group chat, the one that's always blowing up with the biggest sports takes, debates, and breaking news?
You got barbecue back there, and you didn't invite me?
Yeah, we've got that too. Welcome to the Sports Thread, where we break down the top 5 stories in sports, just like you would with your crew.
Oh, no! Disaster! What a bad idea!
No filters, no silence, just real talk.
All righty. Let's get this going. We'll start off with a little bit of NBA. How about that?
Number 1.
Very nice.
Victor Wembanyama reminded everyone why he's already, quote, the best player already in the, quote, best player in the world conversations, dominating defensively with 7 blocks and 4 steals while adding 27 points and 12 boards to lead San Antonio Spurs to a stunning 114-93 comeback over the Portland Trail Blazers. After missing Game 3 due to concussion protocol frustrations, Wemby anchored his historic turnaround. San Antonio flipped a 19-point deficit in a 21-point win, outscoring Portland 73-35 in the second half and taking a commanding 3-1 series lead. His defensive presence completely changed the game, holding the Blazers to brutal shooting when contested shots. When he contests shots and proving that even.
You okay over there?
No. Even on and quote off offensive start, he can take over in ways few players ever have. Are we already watching Victor Wembanyama become the most impactful two-way player in the NBA, or is it too early to put him in that tier?
I think we're getting close. I've watched this guy play, and for someone who's like 7'4" or whatever he is, he plays like he's a 6'8", 6'9" type of guy. He is very good, and I can't say that he's the most impactful two-way player in the NBA right now. It's got to be in the top 3.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, top 3.
He is a freak. Is Victor Wembanyama.
Number 2.
The Boston Red Sox made one of the most shocking early season moves in baseball, firing manager Alan Cora. Alan Cora.
Are you okay?
He draws the foul.
Firing manager Alex Cora and much of his coaching staff despite his championship pedigree, as the team struggles at 10-17 and sits at the bottom of the American League East. Once the architect of a 108-win World Series team in 2018, Cora couldn't overcome a roster that has completely underperformed. Boston ranks near the bottom of the league in nearly every key offensive category, while the pitching staff has also collapsed. The organization is now turning to interim manager Chad Tracy to stabilize things, signaling a full reset mindset as expectations crash early in the season. Was moving on from Alex Cora this early in the season a necessary wake-up call, or does it point to deeper roster construction issues that no manager could fix?
First off, KG has a great comment. Alan Cora, famous coach of Arson Judge.
Arson Fudge, yes.
Which is really good. I think this is a Red Sox organization run by Scott. Is it Scott Breslow?
I believe so.
Yeah, Scott Breslow. And it's his way or the highway. And I think he didn't get along with the manager. I think you just look to the players to tell you how to feel about this. Players are not happy with it. Trevor Story doesn't even know what the direction of the franchise is after this. Garrett Whitlock not happy. Roman Anthony not happy, but he deferred to the veterans, which was a smart move. I don't think this is a... What I'd never understand is when you fire a guy through the first quarter of the year, what's the point of coming into the year if the guy's in the hot seat? Now, I know Alex Cora has had some issues in Boston. He's been on the hot seat for a while, and it's just because they're a big-time baseball market. But this seems very short-sighted, and this seems like an ego took over here and made this decision, because they're not even firing just Alex Cora. They're firing like 5 people. Yeah. 5 people, and they didn't have anyone available to manage the team, so they had to call up the AAA Worcester manager. I think his name is Chad Tracy.
Yeah.
Also, what tells me that this was a ego-driven thing, Alex Cora tweeted out a picture of him getting on a plane, smiling with the caption, "Happy." That tells me everything I need to know.
And I mean, also, it tells you something that when... I believe there was like a team meeting or a team address with the owners and the players after this had happened, and they didn't even discuss it. The owners didn't even talk about why they fired the entire coaching staff. It was just done, it happened, go win games, pretty much.
We made a mistake on Breslow. I don't know why I said whatever I said. It's Scott Breslow. It's why did I just forget his name? My gosh, Craig Breslow.
So Scott Breslow and Alan Cora,
we're doing a great job
running the Red
here.
Sox.
Bottom line is, this is not very smart. I think you've angered your fan base. I think you've angered your players. I think you made a decision because your ego couldn't handle it, Mr. Breslow, whatever your first name is.
I think Whitlock had made the quote. They made it very clear that you get paid to play baseball and do nothing.
That's it. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Trevor Story and Garrett Whitlock both said it's very clear to us that we're here to play baseball and that's it.
Yep.
Which I don't think you could run a franchise like that.
No.
You have to listen to your big players.
Yes, you do. You absolutely do.
Number 3.
All right, going to the NFL now. Former head coach Mike Tomlin.
Take you by surprise saying former?
No, because the way the summary was the way the summary was written, it said former Mike Tomlin, not former coach, former Steelers coach. It's just former Mike Tomlin. Former Steelers coach Mike Tomlin opened up about his decision to step away from the Pittsburgh Steelers, citing a combination of personal timing and the franchise's prolonged playoff struggle, no postseason wins since 2016, as key factors. Tomlin suggested a leadership change could reinvigorate the locker room, especially for veteran players, and had since been transitioned to Tomlin has since transitioned to a broadcasting role with NBC on Football Night in America. While embracing the next chapter, he's still plugged into the league, even predicting Aaron Rodgers could return to as Pittsburgh's quarterback in 2026, showing he hasn't lost his feel for the game despite stepping away from the sideline. Did Mike Tomlin make the right call by stepping away when he did, or should the Pittsburgh Steelers have pushed to keep a proven leader and fixed the roster instead?
I think Mike Tomlin is trying to tell people why he left. The writing was on the wall. He felt like it was time to move on. He said it was, to give a different leadership change. Is that what he said?
Yeah.
I don't disagree that might need to happen at some points. The guy was there for like 20 years. Sometimes you
need a new voice.
You need a new voice. Sometimes people start tuning you out because he's a great coach, but this happens to a lot of coaches. Look what happened to Bill Belichick. Like, he was forced out. So I think Mike Tomlin took it into his own hands and decided that he was going to step away. I don't know if Mike McCarthy's the guy, but hey, it's a new voice, and he is a proven winning coach.
Yeah, for sure.
Number 4.
We'll get to this one kind of quickly. The Las Vegas Raiders traded up to grab Jermon McCoy early in the 4th round at 101 overall, capitalizing on what they see as major value after former Tennessee Volunteer cornerback slid due to potential concerns about a torn ACL that wiped out his 2025 season. Once viewed as a potential first-round talent, McCoy insists his knee is healthy, though the Raiders will evaluate whether or not further medical work is needed. Despite the drop, Vegas believed it may have landed one of the top corners in the class at a discount, addressing a key positional need while McCoy enters the league motivated to prove teams wrong after his unexpected fall. Did the Raiders just steal a first-round talent, or are the injury concerns that caused him to slide a long-term risk?
I think both things can be true. I'm not sure if he's a first-round talent, but I do think a 4th-round pick on a guy who was projected in the first round without an injury, I think that's a doable thing. And if you're going to get him in the 4th round, he turns into a Pro Bowler, you're a genius for doing it. The injury concerns obviously are there. ACLs are very weird, and especially in football, you don't want to... a lot of guys come out of college into the NFL with knee problems, and for the most part, everything's fine. I can't say they stole a first-round pick or talent, but I am going to say that it's worth the selection.
It's also the Raiders, so you never know. This most likely will backfire on them.
Probably.
Raiders.
All right, that's it for the Sports Nerd. When we get back, Fort Wayne Tin Caps broadcaster Jaden Taylor talks to us about the Tin Caps on 97.3 The Fan.
San Diego, it's time to fire it up. From the beaches to the ballparks, from the Gaslamp to North County, no one knows America's finest city like he does.
You can't just punt on a Manny Machado prime year.
He's a fourth-generation San Diegan, born and raised in the heart of this community. Passionate, opinionated, and always bringing you the real talk on your teams, your city, and everything in between.
Braden totally knows his stuff. He's ready for the next step. That guy is good.
Live and local, it's the Braden Surprenant Show.
But I think Braden's one of the up-and-coming young stars in the media game in San Diego.
Now, here's your host, Braden Surprenant.
Next time I'm actually going to record my name over that when it says that Matt Scraby's, it's going to be like the actual clip, but instead I just tape over Braden. I put Matt. It's going to be one of the real up-and-comers in this game because I am in today. Braden will be back tomorrow. He is enjoying some rest and relaxation over the weekend. So he'll be back tomorrow. But we are in the Bill House Studios where we know how. And right now we are going to be joined by Jaden Taylor, the Fort Wayne Tin Caps broadcaster on the SDCCU fan hotline. It's not Big Bank Banking. It's better. Jaden, thanks so much for joining the show today.
Thanks for having me on, Matt.
Of course. I was, looking over this stuff yesterday, and there are some things that really jumped out to me right away. And yesterday, the Tin Caps won 2-1, but Jamie got the victory. He struck out 8 of his 16 batters, and he did not allow a run in 5 innings. So I don't know where he is in the process in the minor leagues, but tell us a little bit about Jamie.
Yeah, kind of incredible that, Jamie able to do what he did in just his 4th professional start. He was a guy that spent 5 different seasons in college ball, started out at Texas Tech. Things didn't quite work out there. So went to Oklahoma, 2 seasons as a starter, then moved to a bullpen role, which is where I think the Padres really looked at him early on in his final season at OU, dominated throughout there in his final year. And then again, kind of had to move into a starter role just surely out of need for us in the second week of the season. Made 1 appearance in single A like Elsinore, came up to us in the second week of the year and absolutely dominated. You mentioned 8 strikeouts, the 16 batters faced. His slider looked the best it has been all season long. Quieter guy initially from the Houston area, just outside of there. But, man, he looked really impressive across 5 innings of work. And nonetheless, it was against a lineup that is extremely potent. The Brewers' system has been very good this season. We took on the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers, their high A affiliate, this past week, and he made it look easy.
Yeah, it definitely seems like he made it look easy. And the pitching for Fort Wayne right now has some great stuff going on, especially with Cash Mayfield. I know that he's probably the most popular guy to talk about, but so far he started 4 games this year, 16 innings, struck out 19, has a batting average against of .082, a whip of .69. With the Padres maybe sort of struggling in the rotation down the road, I don't think he's going to be a major league player this year, but how close do you think he is to taking that next step?
I think each and every single piece, you look at Cash Mayfield and you get a good check mark. I think the big thing for him is he is taking the right steps every single outing for him, understanding the workload being built up a little bit more after getting about 3 to 4 innings consistently last season in his starts. He's working to go back out and fit 5 innings each and every single start throughout the rest of this season. He's hoping to have 22 full starts, and no matter where that's at, whether it's here, AA, AAA, whatever it is, the focus is on right now. I think the biggest key when you look at Cash Mayfield as a starter, he's a true gamer, understands his arsenal, 3-pitch mix, and by far his favorite and his best is his changeup. 60 grade amongst the 20 to 80 grade scale, and it is a really tough pitch for anybody to match up against. Throws it a little bit different than some other pronators do, like he is. Really just throws it like a fastball. It's a circle change grip that he got basically last season, changed it up a little bit, and it's been by far his best pitch. You mentioned the stats already. Started out this season, did not allow a single hit in his first 10 in the 3rd innings of work. Didn't allow a run in his first 15 innings of work. And the only run he's given up this season was a home run to Andrew Fisher, a top 100 prospect in the game, and loads of people saw in the World Baseball Classic already this season. He's a competitor. He's going to go out there and win ball games. It's his whole goal to get this team to be in a chance and be in a spot where they can win when he comes out of the ball game. And again, he has a history of success all across his high school days. Same case last year, and the first-round pick is as advertised.
We're talking to Jaden Taylor, Fort Wayne Tin Caps broadcaster here on the SDCCU fan hotline. It's not big bank banking, it's better. And for someone who watches these guys each and every day, do you just know that these guys are destined for more, or is it more hidden because it's the low A part of the, or the high A, I'm sorry, part of the minor league system? Like, what do you know that a guy who's coming in he's going to be a major leaguer?
It really depends. I mean, I think you see a lot of players come through here, and you never know when they're going to find their way up. But there are times and attributes where you see, okay, that is major league tools, right? The specific tools you see in a player. A guy like Cash Mayfield, you see that changeup. That is a major league level changeup. He's only 21 years old, but incredibly mature, has an understanding of how he wants to sequence the game, and goes out there with a mindset to win. And I think very self-aware as well, and understanding of what his strengths and some of his weaknesses are and where he wants to grow as a pitcher. And I think that mental makeup showcases why he can be a major leaguer very, very soon with what he does, just without his process, his routine every single day. It's not just about the stats. It's not just about the results at the end of the day. He understands how to be a baseball player, a long-term pitcher as a starter, day in and day out, and week in and week out. And again, you overlook at some guys. We'll talk about Alex McCoy as well. He has a true raw power tool that you go, okay, he could be a major leaguer one day. Sometimes there's misses. Sometimes there's guys that hit decently well in high A, might not be able to produce as much as they would have thought, but then go on to have massive major league careers. Dexon Merrill didn't hit amazing in the first couple months that he was with Fort Wayne back in 2023. Got going when things got hotter, and it's more of a pitcher-friendly league at the end of the day. But sometimes don't always play their best in the Midwest League cold a little bit early in the season, and when they're able to find the barrel a little bit more when it gets into the hotter months of May, June, and July, that's when you kind of see where those next steps are.
Yeah, I was thinking about that, and I'm glad you brought up Alex McCoy, because Jake Cunningham, both of them have an OPS over 900. They both have 4 home runs. They're both hitting over 300. How much different is the play in the first part of the season? Because in Fort Wayne, it gets hot, it gets humid during the summer, and is it a big difference for these guys?
It honestly depends. I mean, some players have been able to deal with it a little bit more than others. Last season was extremely cold across the first month and a half of the season. It was sometimes in the mid-40s, even at the end of April last year. It's been a little bit unseasonably warm right now in Fort Wayne, so that's kind of allowed the ball to fly a little bit more. But I'll say this, with Alex McCoy and Jake Cunningham, here's the big thing you're going to see, right? Early on in the season, sometimes the wind might carry out. When it gets hotter, the wind as well as the warm weather might allow balls to fly out of the ballpark a little bit more. These are two guys that have earned every single hit they have had this season. Alex McCoy this year, 16 different baseballs that he has put in play with an exit velocity of 104 plus off the bat. That is real power.
Yeah.
6'5", 260 pounds. He has every bit of the major league body type that you're going to see, with some real power in the middle of this order. Jake Cunningham has been the same case. It's been true line drives. And again, that's kind of the underlying data that you're going to see with these players. It goes, okay, he's going to hit well here, which means he's going to hit well when he continues to move up.
We're talking to Jaden Taylor, Fort Wayne Tin Caps broadcaster here on the SDCCU fan hotline. It's not big bank banking, it's better. And just looking through the pitching, it seems like they have some pretty good pitching there in Fort Wayne. Outside of Cash Mayfield, outside of Jamie Hitt, what are we looking at on the team as guys that we may see going forward?
I think the real big one you're going to want to look at is Carson Montgomery on the bump, at least as a starter right now. Dealt with a little bit of injury issues, had Tommy John surgery, and it was nearly 2 seasons between him making a minor league appearance. So went out in the Arizona Fall League this past October, got himself into real live game situations, made it a lot more comfortable for him. And another guy that is able to keep this team again in games a lot of the time. Fastball has been very good. Off speed has been able to get some cut and miss out of it as well. He's been kind of one of our weekend starters that we've been able to see from him. Out of the bullpen, there's 2 big names that I would see for Padres fans to be able to look at. One guy is Tucker Musgrove. His fastball is averaging 99. You'll see sometimes it'll blimps around the 100 mark here and there. Real good slider as well. And the fastball's got some really good ride on top of it. Another guy I think to look at is another guy from this past year's draft, like we saw in Jamie Hitz. Another draft pick from this past year out of UNC Asheville's Clay Edmondson. He's kind of a sidewinder, submarine guy. He's got 5 different pitches and a rising slider, which nobody has pretty much been able to hit thus far. The arm slot's coming down basically at the ankles, and the slider is going entirely about 13 inches up above the other way. And it's really hard for anybody to be able to match up with right now. He was a starter in his college days. He's moved to the bullpen now in his pro outing, but he looks really good right now, and it's been really tough for anybody to honestly get a handle of that look.
Talking to Jaden Taylor, Fort Wayne Tin Caps broadcaster on 97.3 The Fan. And I have to ask you this question because last year it was a big topic of conversation between Padres fans, but Leo Dallas DeVries being traded for Mason Miller, you got to see a lot of him last year when he was with Fort Wayne. Do you think that the Padres made the right move by bringing in Mason Miller, but giving up Leo Dallas DeVries?
At the end of the day, when you want a top-of-the-line closer, which, again, right now has been in the Cy Young conversation, you got to give up a big bat, right?
Yep.
I think that just is what it is. It's the price of business when you want that back-end level closer. I'm going to say this. I think Leo is going to be a real star at the big league level. He has those tools. He's working. He's consistent. I think he's matured a little bit more as a young kid as well, now in the A system on top of it. Again, I think Leo's going to be a great player. I wish nothing but the best for him, and I know the Padres wish nothing for the best for him as well. But at the end of the day, when you want a guy that's going to go out there and break records in terms of scoreless innings and just put together legitimately, again, a negative fifth right now, like you take out the defense, he's a better pitcher without them right now. It's pretty remarkable, again, what he's been able to do. So, again, it's the price of business. I think you gave up a really good player, and I think you had to do that to, bring in one of the best pitchers in baseball and by far the best closer in baseball.
Oh, I love that answer because it just gave me a little bit of ammunition going forward. Thank you so much, Jaden, for joining the show today. If you're ever out in San Diego, please let us know.
I will let you know. Thank you guys for having me on.
No problem. That was Jaden Taylor, Fort Wayne Tin Caps broadcaster here on 97.3 The Fan on the SDCCU fan hotline. It's not big bank banking. It's better. I know that certain people don't like, minor league stuff, but I've become in the last 3 years or so a lot more interested in the minor leagues, and it's also helping me out in fantasy baseball when you see a name that you've seen throughout the years. But Fort Wayne definitely got some guys that we need to pay attention to.
Yeah, and that's why you want to see how these guys are progressing. And when we talk about if Cash Mayfield gets called up to Double-A San Antonio, we'll get to hear Brian Yanselson discuss them as well and see the progression that Cash has made as he moves up through the ladder. So it's all about knowing your team better and becoming a smarter fan.
It is about becoming a smarter fan. I like that, Frank. All right. Thank you to Jaden Taylor for joining us. And honestly, Jaden Taylor, great guest too, because called in 5 minutes early. Called in 5 minutes early. I love it. I love it. When we get back, we still have more to talk about with the superstars not superstarring. We have San Diego FC. Frank is going to walk us through a little bit of that. But we do have this gambling thing that's happening right now with Brendan Sorsby, the Texas Tech quarterback. I want to get into it a little bit here on the other side. I'm Matt Scraby. That's Frank Marchese. We are filling in for Braden Surprenant on 97.3 The Fan.
Clear your schedule.
the many different sounds of rejoins on the Braden Surprenant show. Who is this?
That would be Suit and Jacket by Judah and the Lion.
No way. That's crazy. Judah and the Lion?
Mm-hmm.
Are they a big band?
Brother, I don't know.
Brother? Because I did a bit years and years ago on the radio called Bomb to the Beach, which I would go into bars drunk. This was pre me stopping drinking. And I would hope so. I would ask people trivia questions. But one time I went up to these people and they were just having a drink. And I sat down, we started talking, and I was like, hey, does anybody want to play this stupid little game with me? And they were like, yeah, sure, I'll do that. And then so I'm talking to them, and at the end I have to have them introduce themselves on the thing. And what are you doing in town type of thing? He goes, oh, we're Judah and the Lion, and we're playing a show. And that's like literally the first time I've ever heard of Judah and the Lion since then.
Yeah, that's
crazy. What a small world. I also met Billie Eilish in the elevator before she was famous here.
Oh, really?
Way back when. I got into the elevator and there was this is what I thought. Who's this girl with blue hair? She just did something in the performance studio, so she must be someone. Like 2 weeks later, her single is everywhere. And I'm like, wait, that's the blue hair girl in the elevator. So no coincidences, I guess so.
Yeah, I was always a fan of the Lion. Judah, I don't know.
Okay, I don't know what the difference is. Judah a name, and then so Judah's the lead singer, and then the rest of them are lions.
It's like Hootie and the Blowfish. Hootie's cool. The Blowfish though is a little.
Okay. All right. We'll move on. That was crazy. Judah and the Lion. I did not expect for that to happen. Oh, KG says I need to go and miss connections for my Billie Eilish. Maybe I should have asked her out back then.
Oh my God.
She's one of the biggest pop stars in the world. I had one opportunity, Frank. I had one. All right.
Swing and a miss.
Swing and a miss is correct. We're going to get back to, actually in the next segment, we're going to talk about SDFC and what they did against the lowly Timbers, as Frank put in the rundown. They lost. I'll just tell you that. It's not been great for SDFC in the last month and a half. So Frank will break that down for us. We also have the midday sports standoff. But, Elisa says something that is true. She was probably 14 back then.
Yeah.
Okay, I take it all back. I take it all back. I don't know how old she is, honestly.
He draws the foul.
Sorry, buddy.
I let's just move on.
Are you raising your voice at me?
All right. Brendan Sorsby. Let's go into this. Texas Tech quarterback. Now, you may remember him as a quarterback who got $5 million to come play quarterback for Texas Tech in the transfer portal. He also got a big billboard in Times Square of Texas Tech saying, hey, thanks for choosing us, basically. We're going to give you a big billboard. Well, he is checking into a residential treatment program for a gambling addiction. They announced today his decision to seek treatment, according to sources, came in the wake of a discovery of Sorsby making thousands of online bets on a variety of sports via a gambling app, which jeopardizes his eligibility with Texas Tech. The NCAA is investigating this, the gambling, and apparently, according to sources, Sorsby bet on Indiana football while he was redshirting for the Hoosiers as a true freshman in 2022. So he never played. He played in one game as a reserve. But still, as someone who is on the team with knowledge of what's happening behind closed doors, that's where you're not allowed to do that sort of stuff. You're not allowed to be betting on that stuff. That's why they have rules against this. Now, here's the thing. This professional help, I am all for it if he really wants it. But I feel like, and this is maybe me projecting my opinion on the situation, but I feel like there's only one reason he's going to get professional help, and that is so he can make his $5 million and play with Texas Tech this year. So they could say, see, he took accountability for it. His thousands of bets over the years. he's now taking accountability. He has a problem. He knows this. He's going to rehab. It's also like Mike Vrabel stepping away all of a sudden after he said it was laughable and all this stuff. Oh, now I'm going to counseling after I stay the first 2 days of the draft because, that's a little bit more important than my outside life. But I don't like this. I think that Brendan Sorsby, I feel like he's hiding behind treatment in this. And so no one can say a bad thing about Brendan Sorsby because he's trying to get help. But I feel like this is just a scapegoat.
That is a very logical, well thought out conspiracy theory. And I would not be surprised in the slightest if it was actually the case.
Okay.
No, it's that I want to think the best of people. I really, really do. But every time I think the best of people, they go and do some underhanded nonsense like that. And it's like, okay, dude, really? Come on. Well, you had me on your side, and now I'm not. So I want to believe he's genuinely trying to change. However, I really would not be surprised in the slightest if it turns out that he's doing this as a, hey, look, he's changed. Da, da, da.
Yeah. I mean, he's going to have to go and sit in front of the NCAA at some sort or some point in time and talk to them about his eligibility. Now, they're saying in this article that while he bet on Indiana football as a redshirt, that's going to be a major hurdle for him.
Yeah,
because he did play in a single game. He was on the team, but he was still betting on his own team, which is a big no-no. So when they sit down, and when he sits down in front of them, he's going to have to explain that away. He's going to have to explain all the bets he's made since then. He's going to have to explain a lot.
Bless you.
It was actually a cough. Thank you. I know it did sound like a sneeze. Mime Jr. says going to rehab is accountability, though, Scraby. It is. I mean,
it is if you have the genuine intention of getting better.
Yes.
If there's also the potential there. Now, again, we're not insinuating that he's doing this. We're just saying that this is something that could possibly be the case. If you're doing it because you want to get better, then yes, it is. It is 100% taking accountability. It is not taking accountability, however, if you're doing this to check a box, to make a case against yourself look good.
I will be fully transparent. When I went to rehab for alcohol, I went to check a box. I went to get my family off my back. I went to get people to shut up for a second because there were a lot of people screaming at me about how bad my life was. And I was just like, okay, fine, I'll go. As long as everybody stops talking to me, I'll go. And then when I was there, I found something there. And I ended up going from checking a box to actually making an effort. So with me just telling that, maybe he is going to go into it with checking a box and maybe he comes out of it a better person for it. And I hope that is the case.
I do too.
I think Texas Tech is going to do him no good.
No.
By helping him get out of this so that they can have their $5 million Texas Tech quarterback, because the transfer portal, it's a little bit late in the game to find a new quarterback. Texas Tech said they already have his back and that's great and all that stuff. But let's see how this goes. And it's it's not just Brendan Sorsby. There is so much gambling happening among athletes.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a secret. And I just don't understand why everybody turned their head when all this money came in from DraftKings and FanDuel and all these different Polymarket, Kalshi, all this stuff. Like everybody just turns their head. And then they're like, oh no, a player was betting. This is terrible. What do we do?
Oh no, the leopard ate my face.
Yeah.
How could this have happened?
Yeah, I didn't know that the leopard would eat my face if I put meat all over it. Okay. Let's move on to
phrasing.
You get it? You drape meat like, when Lady Gaga wore the meat suit
phrasing.
Okay, we're gonna get moving here. On the other side, we have the midday sports standoff. We also have Frank breaking down SDFC. I'm Matt Scraby. That's Frank Marchese filling in for Braden Surprenant on 97.3 The Fan. There's one other thing I need to complain about before we get into SDFC. And this whole show has kind of been a daily gripe. But I don't know how to phrase this, Frank.
Frank, I hate working with you. It's okay.
No, I like working with you. It's just because the Patriots are trying to sweep Mike Vrabel's stuff under the rug doesn't mean they actually can sweep Mike Vrabel's stuff under the rug. Apparently, Frank's telling me he's back with the team. Yep. So he went to counseling for a day or two.
Yeah, Adam Schefter reporting an hour ago. Let me get the exact tweet up here. Hold on. Adam Schefter tweeting an hour ago after missing day 3 of the NFL draft to be with his family. Patriots head coach Mike Vrabel is back at work with the team today.
I don't understand it.
Congratulations, guys. We've done it.
I really don't understand it. And you know what? I get it. Diana Russini did not make a smart decision. But I do not know why.
It takes 2 people to make that decision.
It does. You know? But I do not know why no one seems to be holding the NFL head coach at a higher level of standard than Diana Russini. It's crazy to me.
I agree with you. But again, the way the story was framed is journalistic integrity and credibility.
Totally understand that.
That's the way the story was framed. That's not Vrabel's problem. That's Rossini's problem.
It is Rossini's problem. But
I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying that's from the beginning. That's the way the story was framed, was journalistic integrity.
I love how Mime Jr. is telling me
that's Juan Ruiz. Juan Ruiz in the chat.
Oh, it just says Mime Jr.
No, I know. It's... Yeah.
Not everyone who goes to rehab goes with the right intentions, but they still need help. I don't know if that's true. Anyway,
moving on.
Frank hit me with that in the break, and it's like the Patriots are doing everything they possibly can to polish the turd that the morning show talks about all the time.
They love being the evil empire. They embrace it. They really do.
They do. So do the Dodgers.
No, they don't.
The Dodgers embrace being the evil empire. Dalton Rushing certainly.
Yeah, Dalton Rushing is embracing it for sure.
Is there anyone that you dislike more in Major League Baseball right now? I mean, he's probably at the top of my list.
I have a couple.
Say it. Juan Soto?
No.
Carlos Mendoza?
No, well, Mendoza's certainly one of them.
Francisco Lindor?
No, I don't have a problem with Lindor.
Okay. All right, let's move into our SDFC. I was trying to, maybe stall a little bit heading into it, but San Diego Football Club has not been great. They haven't won since they beat Toluca back last month, in the middle of the month. So it's been a while since they've won. They've struggled. What's going on, Frank? They lost the Portland Timbers on Saturday night, 2-1. Anders Dreyer did get a PK, but Portland, apparently, you said lowly Timbers. Is this a bad loss?
It's not great. Timbers came in at 2-1-5. That's 2 wins, 1 draw, and 5 losses. So they have not been good this year. This is the first time I've actually sat down and watched. Again, I was there. This is the first time I've actually sat down and really watched and really paid attention to San Diego FC in a couple of weeks. The way they played the first half hour of that game, it's like, how is this team lost? Because this is everything that they've been doing. Then as the first half went on, you can start to see complacency start to creep in. They were moving the ball so easily around the back line, around the defense, that the passes started to get shorter and shorter. They started to get weaker. They weren't as crisp. They were just kind of, okay, well, now you try to break it up. Now you try to break. And it all came crashing down when Portland finally jumped on one and scored an easy goal. Scored easy one-on-one. They got a penalty kick right back. Not that long after. Kevin Kelsey scored in the 26th minute for Portland. Dreyer got a penalty 7 minutes later. Then in the second half, Portland came out like a completely different team. San Diego FC was on their heels for most of the second half. And then I don't know why, Free almost cost them 2 goals at the end of that game. There was one in like the 88th minute where it's a loose ball. It's one-on-one between the box and the half line. Free goes out to play it, misses it, gives a wide open look from about 3/4 pitch, about a third of the pitch away from net. By the luck of fools, the guy missed.
Luck of fools.
Missed the upright, the far upright by inches, rolled away. Then he went out and misplayed another ball at the top of the box, giving them another open look that they scored, but it was called back for offside. Where he got the idea that he needed to play so aggressively and so recklessly, I do not know. San Diego FC was on the back foot the entire second half, and then they ended up finally breaking at the very end of the game to lose the game. It was 9 minutes of added time. The official gave them a little bit more. And Portland finally scored on a little roller and just a schmoz in front of the net. Scored on a roller with 6 minutes into the added time at the end of the second half. I understand the frustration. I understand the need to change. There were a lot of chants for Chucky Lozano at the end of that game. Bringing Chucky Lozano in is not going to solve the problem that this team has. They have a discipline problem. They have a focus problem. They lose focus and then they fall out completely. Everything that you saw out of San Diego FC in the first half of that game, the first 30 minutes of the match on Saturday, went away after Portland scored that goal. They got the goal back. They kind of played a somewhat of a second half, somewhat of a solid end to the first half, and then it just all went apart. It just all fell apart. Lozano is not going to fix that problem. It's a focus problem. It is a discipline problem that this team has right now, and it's very, very strange as to how this team, which has remained virtually identical. Now, there are a lot of there are changes on the back line, and they've been a problem. They're young, they're growing, they're learning. It's amazing to see how this entire team that has remained virtually identical from last year to this year is now having problems this year that they should have had as a growing team last year. It's really, really, really confusing as to how this team has completely fallen apart after the great start they had to this year.
So the growing pains are just kicking in late.
Yeah, it seems like it.
Seems like they got through last year. Everything was working. There was a question, is it a coaching problem or a player's problem? It sounds like there's a both problem.
I think it's a little bit of both. I don't think Mikey Varas, it's not a coaching problem when you're getting yourself a red card in 6 straight matches and in 7 of 8. That's on the players.
Yeah.
So they've put themselves in a hole a lot recently. But yes, there is something on the coaching when you have these young players making these mistakes. And honestly, the discipline also does fall on the coach as well. It is a both It is definitely a both issue. Right now, they need a win in the worst way to snap out of the issues that they have, and hopefully a win just sort of kicks everything back, kind of does a hard reset, because they had a draw last night right up until the very end. They found a way to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. At least in a draw sense. A draw would have been like a win for this team last night. And they couldn't even get that. They couldn't finish that off.
See, I didn't see that the fans were chanting for Chucky Lozano.
Yeah, they were at the end of the game. It was a lot. It was like little rumblings kind of from the ultra section, but it was certainly there.
The reason I think that's interesting is because here's what I heard about the Chucky Lozano situation.
Mm-hmm.
I did a little deep digging, tried to get some answers about what is happening. And so I can't say this is like fact or anything, but here's what I've heard. Chucky Lozano was talking trash behind Mikey Varis's back to other players, and it got back to Mikey Varis. And when you got a player trying to undermine the coach, there's only one way to handle that, and it's move on. Now, it's taken forever for them to move on.
Well, and again, partly because, well, one, you don't want to eat the contract, number one. And two, it's not, I don't know if you know how much you know of soccer, but there's only 2 times a year where you can transfer players. You have the summer window, which goes from July, at the beginning of July to the end of August, when the international year starts, and you have January for the winter transfer window. So they missed out on the winter transfer window, and now he's just sitting there waiting until July when they could try to move him. Problem with that is, number one, you're halfway through the season if you're San Diego FC. And for him, it's a World Cup year. And he's burned a lot of bridges with the Mexico team, and now he's not playing at all. So the ability for him to get called up for the World Cup for the Mexican national team, that's also taken a big hit for him as well. I didn't really like the video that he put out the other day.
Yeah.
We know he's allowed to still train at the San Diego FC facility. He put out a video on his Instagram of just him at the facility, like wearing the jersey at the facility, doing a full 360 spin. That to me felt really self-centered and self-serving when you have a team that's going on a slide, and now all of a sudden there's rumblings that they want you back. That's kind of like hey, I'm here, I'm ready. They're not doing it. It's like he's trying. They don't want me yet. It felt very underhanded. At least that's how I read it.
I'm going to anger some people with this. He did his best Trevor Bauer.
Why would you bring that?
He did his best Trevor Bauer. All right. That's it. I'm sorry for the SDFC fans. It's been a tough year. I never thought it would happen after last year. Thought they were going to win forever. Apparently not.
This is the longest skid in the history of the franchise, and it's not looking good.
I love how you say it like it's 100 years old. The longest skid in the history of the franchise.
Well, it is.
We're broadcasting live from the Bill House Studios, where we know how, but I think we need to get into this.
All right, so we have Alex in Encinitas playing today. Alex, how are you doing today, bud?
Doing great. Good afternoon, guys. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Good afternoon. I know Alex, and I'm not happy that I'm playing against Alex because he's a good player.
All right, so
thanks.
Scravy knows his opponent here today, but he does not know the question.
I do not.
And the question is, the Padres have played 6 international series in their franchise history.
Okay.
Against 5 different teams.
Okay.
Who are the 5 different teams that the Padres played an international series against?
Wow.
Alex, you have the first guess.
Okay, I'm going to start off with the Dodgers.
They have played against the Dodgers in 2018 and 2024. That is the only repeat player that they have faced.
I'm going to go Giants.
Team. Giants in 2023, correct. Alex.
Obviously the Diamondbacks.
Arizona, yes. Missing the 2 earliest ones.
Oh, gosh. I'm trying to think. When they played internationally... let's just man, he took the Diamondbacks, which is the only team I have left in my brain.
Both in the 90s.
Both were 90s, huh? Let's go with
the Blue Jays do not count, but
that's funny. Let's go with the Rockies. Whoa!
They played the Rockies in 1999.
Wow.
That was the one I thought was going to trip you guys up. Alex.
I'm thinking the Mets, your team.
What?
Yes, they played the Mets.
The Mets? Wow.
They played the Mets in 1996. Alex, hang on the line. I'll get your information during the break. But yes, they played the Mets in Mexico City. I'm surprised you didn't get that because they showed a lot of replays from that series over the weekend. They played the Colorado Rockies 1 game in Mexico City in 1999. Of course, they played the Dodgers in Mexico and in, was it Japan or Korea? It was Korea. In 2018 and 2024. And both the Giants and D-backs in Mexico City in 23 and 26.
Wow. I would have never gotten the Mets. Ever. But good job, Alex. That means that I didn't lose, though.
No.
Because I didn't have an incorrect answer.
Sure.
So that works for me. That works for me. Well, congratulations, Alex. I thought they would have played in more international games, but only 5, huh? Or only 5 different teams? 6
series against 5 different teams, yes.
They were, I think they had a game in Australia, not the Padres, but a Major League Baseball game in Australia
I believe
10 plus
Dodgers,
years ago.
I think the Dodgers played in that one.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about all of these leagues trying to get so international. Maybe this is the selfish American in me, but I feel like leagues are turning their back on the people that have gotten them there. I understand you want to grow your game. Right, I don't have any issue with that.
The Padres and Mets. Padres won that series, by the way. That was the first one. Then the Rockies played them in Mexico. The Estadio de Béisbol Monterrey. Okay. So they played those games in Monterrey.
Okay.
Cubs played the Mets in Japan in 2000.
Yep.
D-Rays played the Yankees in Japan in 2004. A's and Red Sox in 2008, Mariners, A's in 2012, all of those in Japan. Dodgers, Diamondbacks in Australia at the Sydney Cricket Ground in 2014.
That's the one I was talking about, by the way.
Dodgers, Padres in Monterey. Mariners, A's in Tokyo. Boy, the A's just wanted to play anywhere but Oakland, huh?
Well, have you seen their stadium when they were in Oakland?
Cardinals, Reds in Monterey. Houston Angels in Monterey in 2019. Also in 2019 was Yankees, Red Sox in London.
Oh, yeah, they have the London games. I think the Phillies played in one, too.
Yep. 2023 was Padres, Giants in Mexico City. Cubs, Cardinals in London. 24 was Dodgers, Padres in South Korea. Houston, Colorado in Mexico City. Phillies, Mets in London. Last year was Dodgers, Cubs in Tokyo, and then this year Arizona, San Diego in Mexico City.
That's not as many.
And that's all of them.
That's not as many international games as I thought, but we're just going to see more and more. It's just going to keep happening.
Yep.
And I do understand that baseball's more worldwide of a sport than others. And so you want to be able to bring your game to fans. But at what cost? At what cost? It's a great thing for baseball, but is it a great thing for the players? I don't think they care. I really don't think they care. All right, we're heading into the final hour. I'm Matt Scraby. That's Frank Marchese filling in for Braden Surprenant. He'll be back tomorrow. We'll get you set for this series against the Cubs on 97.3 The Fan. Back here in the Bill House Studios where we know how on 97.3 The Fan. Sorry, I was on Instagram and saw a play where Francisco Lindor was supposed to catch Andrew McCutchen stealing, but he didn't tag him for some reason. And Andrew McCutchen just went and put his foot on the base, and Francisco Lindor had no idea.
Why do you hurt me?
Why do I hurt you? I don't mean to.
Why do you hurt me?
I don't mean to. I'm Matt Scraby. That is Frank Marchese here on 97.3 The Fan. Braden will be back tomorrow. We've talked about a lot today. We've talked about Jake Cronenworth. I'm sure we'll banty that around a little bit here in the last hour. We're going to talk about the Cubs coming into town. We're also going to talk a little bit more about the superstars and if they're superstarring. But I guess we can say that the Cubs coming to town, I mean, they have the Padres have faced just good team after good team after good team. But I think they may get a little bit of a break tonight on the pitching side, because tonight they're going to face Matthew Boyd, who has a 5.79 ERA for the Cubs. And you have Randy Vasquez going for the Padres. So let's talk about Randy Vasquez real quick, Frank. I remember the day we had the Beaver Nuggets show, which is an infamous show,
yes,
in station history. The day we had that show, we were talking about whether Randy Vasquez or Matt Waldron's going to get the 5th spot on the 2025 team. So we did the Beaver Nuggets thing. We debated that. And then Nick Pivetta got signed like 20 minutes after we went through all the different possibilities.
Really?
Yeah, you don't remember that.
No.
I mean, you're kind of right now. Just because of injury.
Yeah.
But at the time we said Randy Vasquez, we like what Randy Vasquez is doing. We thought he should be the 5th starter. We thought that he was going to be a guy that's going to help the Padres throughout last season in the future. And we were right about that, at least so far. But I think Randy Vasquez at this point, I don't know that we can say it's a fugazi, as Chris and Tony would say. The start to the year, he's 2-0, 1.88 ERA. He has been awesome this year. He's only had one bad game this year. He went 7 innings at Coors Field, did some great stuff at high elevation, and he might be maybe the 3rd pitcher on the team right now, 2nd pitcher on the team. Michael King, you got Michael King, and then you got Randy Vasquez. But where are you at with Randy Vasquez? Do you think this is for real, Frank? Because I definitely do.
Yeah, we've been on this really since spring training, that he has the potential to give you an ace quality season, and he has certainly started off that way. That he is, the way he has pitched this season has been absolutely phenomenal in what you would expect out of an ace style pitcher. He has been the best, most reliable pitcher in this Padres rotation this season. And Michael King has been good. He's still coming back from his injuries, so we're giving him a little bit of extra time. That you know what the 4 and 5 battle is, and now you're waiting on Griffin Canning to come up next week to see what he's going to do. So right now, your ace to this staff has been Randy Vasquez. And from everything that we have seen, his progression over the course of the last couple of years, he is certainly a guy who can maintain this level of starting pitcher. He's not a traffic cop anymore. He is a genuine starter now.
The Padres have won all 5 games that he's started in this year. I guess you could say they should have lost one of those, which was the game against the Mariners when the Padres scored 5 runs in the bottom of the 9th. But so far this year, he's gone 6 innings, 5 2/3, and even in his bad start, he went 4 innings and then 7 against the Rockies. He's eating innings for you in a year that you definitely need guys to eat innings. And I would like to, point out again, the reason the Padres have Randy Vasquez is because they traded Juan Soto. And I still see people complaining about that. I don't really understand. It's like, move on, people. It has been years now since they traded Juan Soto. honestly, Juan Soto by himself is not he's not going to win you a lot of baseball games. He's a great player. But look what's happening to the Mets right now. They just got swept by the Rockies over the weekend. Sorry, Frank. It's
Why
bad.
do you hurt me?
Because it's the truth.
Why do you hurt me?
It's facts. Would you have rather woken up, side note, would you have rather woken up the other day and saw that Carlos Mendoza was fired over Alex Cora?
Yes.
Okay, there you go. Well, he's got the vote of confidence from everyone, so Carlos Mendoza is safe. Anyway, Randy Vasquez came back here, so it was him. It was Michael King. You also got
Johnny Brito in that deal.
Johnny Brito, who's coming back from a internal
John.
brace surgery, but he should be back by the end of the year. People are thinking. Let's see if he can make an impact. The trade that we all kind of, I didn't crush it. I thought it was a good trade, but the trade that sent Juan Soto to the Yankees has set up the Padres for the last couple of years.
Yeah,
and that's exactly what you were doing in that trade. You were trading one of the best players in baseball and getting back a bunch of good players.
You were trading a guy that you knew you were not going to re-sign.
Yeah.
For a massive haul with a guy like that, that's malpractice if you don't do that.
Oh, you're right.
So you had to get rid of him if you knew you were not going to sign him. That's why the Nationals got rid of him. They sent him a $425 million contract offer. He said no, so they traded him. They knew they weren't going to be able to re-sign him, so they traded him. They got something back for him. You don't let a guy like him walk on a deal. Same exact thing you saw here.
It's almost what makes the Angels such a bad franchise, because they did not trade Shohei Ohtani at the deadline when they could have, knowing that he was not going to be coming back to that team.
Mm-hmm.
Angels could have set themselves up for years if they were to trade Shohei Ohtani. And maybe they were just the asking price was just too much for Shohei Ohtani. But I guarantee you, if there was a team that could get over the hump for that and use Shohei as a rental player, I bet you they would have given up a lot for him. Like almost anyone that the
AJ Preller said
Angels
he was willing
wanted.
to give. AJ Preller said he was willing to give away Jackson Merrill for it. He almost did it too. So could you imagine that outfield right now? Of Joe Adell robbing 3 home runs in a game, Jackson Merrill in center, and Mike Trout in right?
Yeah, Mike Trout. I named my fantasy baseball team Mike Trout's Ghost, but he's actually been pretty good this year.
He has been.
I picked up Mike Trout last year, and I cursed him because he was not very good last year. But yeah, that would be crazy. That would be weird to see Jackson Merrill in an Angels uniform. I never want to see Jackson Merrill in another uniform. And I never want to see Fernando Tatis Jr. in another uniform.
You know, he won't have to.
Well,
with Fernando, at least, you shouldn't have to.
I mean, we shouldn't have to, but people want to ship him out as fast as possible.
It's okay, though.
And I don't get it.
It's okay, though. Bob Nightingale said you don't have to now. It's over. It's done. The trade Fernando talk should be over now because they signed Lucas Giolito for $3 million.
Don't even get me started on the Lucas Giolito. Like, I don't know why everybody thinks he's the greatest pitcher to ever pitch. And I know that's being me exaggerating a little bit, but I'm seeing a lot of very positive things about Lucas Giolito. Let's see him do it first.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's a different situation and different players in their points in their career, but I feel like this is another Jake Arrieta move where Jake Arrieta came to town 2023, I think, and it was just a move. It wasn't anything else.
That is more or less what this is. It is just another move. You're getting a major league caliber arm that you can fill out this rotation, especially if somebody gets hurt. Now you have like I said, you have Michael King coming off of injury. You don't know how long Nick Pivetta is going to be out. He's a 2021, I think is what.
Wow, I was way off, by the way. You know what? 2021 was the year that I did post game. Braden would do pregame. I would do postgame before like they were 10.5 games up. And every night I said, I'm not going to worry until they lose the lead in the wild card. And it happened. So anyway, sorry.
Oops.
Go ahead.
But yeah, I mean, Giolito he is another filler arm. You don't know how long Pivetta is going to be out. You don't know how long Joe Musgrove is going to be out. And it's always good to have that that backup waiting in the wings because you clearly do not think that Marco Gonzalez or Tristan McKenzie are ready yet.
Honestly, forgot about both those guys. I mean, I knew they were
Tristan
there.
McKenzie, we thought, at least I thought that Tristan McKenzie was going to probably be one of the better signings this offseason if he made the team. He has a lot of upside.
He does have a lot of upside. I know Tony was excited about what he was doing, and he still has time. I mean, he's still a young guy. He could still throw it hard. He could still make an impact at some point. We'll see. But yesterday, if we're talking about the pitching, the bullpen was bad yesterday. But I expect them to be good tonight. I expect for them to be right back where they are. We talked about it earlier. Michael King said the bullpen got unlucky yesterday, and we both kind of agreed. In bottom of the seventh, David Morgan, who's usually very reliable, he started the inning. He got the first out in 3 pitches. Then in 4 straight batters, it ended up being the game right there. Jose Fernandez, 2 pitches. Nolan Arenado, 2 pitches. Alec Thomas, first pitch. Tim Tawa hit a grand slam on 2 pitches. So 7 pitches and 5 runs later, the Padres led by 1, and they ended up losing the game, which is going to happen. Craig Stammen said after the game, we've been doing this to teams all year, so now it's our turn to feel this sort of pain. And we all knew it wasn't going to be perfect the entire year.
Right.
We all knew that. So again, I'm not worried about yesterday's loss. Stephanomics says that Cron-Xander collision was crucial. We talked about it earlier. Was crucial. It could have been a double play, could get the Padres out of the inning. Instead, they get no outs and they load the bases. And David Morgan gives up a grand slam. Both Bogey and Jake went for it. Jake got it, but then no one was on the base, so he couldn't toss it over to Bogey. So he had to dive and try to tag the guy with the ball instead of his glove. It was a weird play. Didn't happen. Loaded the bases. Grand slam. Game over. It's things like that will cost you games. And we've seen it a couple times in the outfield this year between Fernando and Jackson when I see them communicating, but I'm sure it's loud or, I'm sure it's not, they're just not talking to each other, but bad things can happen and they need to be a little bit better with those types of defensive plays.
Yeah, for sure. And as far as the bullpen is concerned, for as many runs as they gave up, they did not get too many. They didn't waste too many bullets for that matter. Kyle Hart hasn't pitched since the 22nd, so I would assume that he's going to see some work
5 days,
at some point tonight. Bradley Rodriguez was in that situation yesterday. He threw 20 pitches. That was the first time he'd pitched in at least 4 days.
Yeah.
So I would expect David Morgan to possibly pitch today. He only threw 10 pitches yesterday. So there's a good chance we'll see him. Jason Adam only threw 15 pitches on Saturday. Miller, 13 pitches on Saturday. Wouldn't be surprised to see him come in. Even Wandy Peralta, I think in a pinch, they could probably use him. He threw 16 pitches yesterday and only threw 17 Wandy on the 22nd.
I think they're using Wandy perfectly now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think from trailing late inning game.
Yeah. He's your innings eater right at the very end.
He could switch back into being a high leverage guy, but I'm happy they're not having him high leverage right now. All right. We're going to head to break real quick. When we get back, more Padres talk, but I want to leave you with this. Xander Bogaerts scored the first run of the game yesterday. He reached base in all 8 games on the road trip, posting a .438 on base percentage and 32 plate appearances. So the Xanda haters, stop. More from us, Frank Marchese, Matt Scraby, filling in for Braden Surprenant on 97.3 The Fan. All right, I think I may have been misunderstood about my Lucas Giolito comments. I don't hate the guy. I'm not a hater. I've been called a hater, Frank, for my comments on Lucas Giolito. I am just...
Matt Scraby hates Lucas Giolito, confirmed.
I am just not... I just can't think that he's going to come in and be a Cy Young guy. I don't understand. Like...
He's not.
If you look at his numbers over the years,
he was supposed
great with the Chicago White Sox.
He was supposed to be that guy for sure. When he came up with the Nationals, he was supposed to be the number 2 in the heir apparent to Steven Strasburg. He never panned out that way.
He didn't. And I will say this. He is coming off of a very good year. 26 starts for the Red Sox last year, 3.41 ERA, 10-4 record, 145 innings pitched, 121 strikeouts. That's a great season. That is a great season. And I'm going to cheer for the guy to do well. And by the way, if you're worried about him, he got hit by a comebacker on Saturday in his start at Lake Elsinore. Seems like everything's okay. He didn't break anything, so it seems like he'll be fine. But like I feel like everyone is thinking the Padres got a steal of a player, but my question is, and it could be money related, but why didn't any other teams want him? Why would teams not give Lucas Giolito, coming off of this year or the last year at the age of 30? Why would they not give him $15 million?
Probably money and time, would be my guess.
I guess, but like, whenever people ask me about players who aren't on the Padres or who come to the Padres, and I always think, what did the previous teams do with them? Well, he opted out of his contract with the Red Sox, which was a massive mistake for him because he didn't get nearly what he was going to get from the Red Sox. I just not caution. I just want everybody to look at it for what it is. He's going to give up runs. All he needs to do is eat innings and keep the team in the game. He doesn't need to be Cy Young for this to be a successful thing.
He's a depth guy.
KG said, the word on the grapevine is that Giolito also wanted to be with a contending team, and he had gotten offers from a few teams that weren't. Juan says, Cubs wanted him, Scraby. Well, why didn't the Cubs go get him?
They made an offer. The Padres outbid them.
Ah, good point. We know he's not Scooble or anything close, but he's definitely better than what we have. I'm not arguing that. I think that it's a good let's see what happens addition.
Yeah,
and coming off of a good season like that, and he's 31 years old, the numbers are there.
He's an innings eater. That's what you got him for. He's there to get you to the trade deadline. He's an innings eater.
So he's not going to be. He's going to be traded. Is that what you're saying, Frank?
No, I'm saying.
Are you saying that he's showcasing himself for the rest of the year?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. All right. That was my Lucas Giolito stuff. I just want to make sure everybody knew. I don't hate the guy. I just want to be cautious about it. In the next segment, as we're ending the show, I want to talk about Pete Armstrong and the Dodgers fans that are really angry at him. But my comment to that is, what do you expect for him to say, Dodgers fans? Dodgers fans are they've always been insufferable, but they are insufferable right now. Just ridiculous in their takes. Like, they think that their team is never going to lose again. And it's very embarrassing for them. It's very embarrassing. But PCA had a comment about that. You got to say that the Cubs coming to town right now, they're coming in red hot. Do you think, Frank?
I don't think. I try not to.
You try not to think? If there is one matchup you're worried about this week, pitching wise, which one is your worry? Tonight it's Matthew Boyd, Randy Vasquez. Tomorrow, Edward Cabrera, Walker Buehler. Wednesday, Jameson Taillon and Matt Waldron. There's Tuesday and Wednesday are the ones we're choosing from.
Tuesday, here. I'm the most concerned about Tuesday.
Which would be Edward Cabrera.
Yeah,
and
it would be Edward Cabrera versus Walker Buehler. Taillon's fine. I think at this point we know what the deal with Matt Waldron is. I think this little tryout that he's had to kill time, to allow Griffin Canning to play out as much of his rehab assignment as possible. I think we know what the deal with Matt Waldron is. So you don't expect much from that outing.
And to with Matt Waldron, he has no more options left. So he has to be put on waivers. Mm-hmm. If a team claims him, then that's where he's, he goes to that team. And if no one claims him, then he can come back to the Padres. But I think someone's going to claim him. I don't see a team not trying to take a chance on him.
I don't think so. And I think the reason why we've said it on the show before is that you're going to need a catcher for him too.
Oh,
you don't have many catchers who are used to facing a knuckleball, which is why Campy's been catching him, because he has seen it before, both in the majors and down in AAA. So I think Waldron will get through waivers. I don't think he's going to be picked up. But Tuesday's game, I think, for Walker Buehler is a big one. Because, again, it goes back to the conversation that we had earlier in the show. Has German Marquez passed him as the guy that after Griffin Canning comes back, when Lucas Giolito's ready to go, is he the guy? Is Walker Buehler the guy who gets the axe? Or do you pull from the bullpen? Do you take Kyle Hart has an option left? Bradley Rodriguez has an option left. There are a couple guys that have options. We went through it on the show on Thursday or Wednesday.
Marinaccio does not have any options.
No, Marinaccio is out of options.
Luis Campusano is out of options. I know we're talking pitching.
Yeah. Let's go through it one more time here.
While you're looking at, someone says Hart can go.
Hart has an option.
I feel like he has an option, but I feel like Kyle Hart hasn't been terrible. I feel like he's been a pretty good lefty specialist, long relief lefty out of the bullpen. Now, he does have an option, so I definitely think that they'll use that if they need to, because they can bring him up and down.
Yeah.
But for the most part, Kyle Hart, I don't think he should be kicked out. If you're looking at German Marquez, and we're talking about Walker Buehler, when Walker Buehler at home this year, he started 3 games, 15 innings. He has a 3 ERA. Away is where he has the issues. 13.5 ERA on the road, and in just how many games? 2 games. So if you're looking at tomorrow night, you got to say, okay, Walker Buehler is in a pitcher's park that is Petco, and he's still learning how to pitch in his new style. Mm-hmm. We've heard this. He is changing the way he's pitching so that he can not have to worry about throwing a 100-mile-an-hour fastball, because he can't do it anymore. German Marquez, on the other hand, he has been up and down, and he made it through 6 innings on Saturday. From start 1 to Saturday start, here's the number of earned runs he's given up: 4-0-4-0-4. Innings pitched: 3, 5, 5, 5 2/3, and 6. So he's going deep in games, and he's keeping the team within 4 runs, which is, as Mud would say, slam range. So if he's keeping the team in it, you got to feel good about German Marquez, but he is just getting absolutely crushed in the first inning. We went through this earlier, but he has a 9 ERA in the first inning, 995 OPS. Second inning, 7.2 ERA, 391 batting average, 982 OPS. Third inning, 318 batting average, 1.121 OPS, 3 home runs allowed. And then innings 4 through 6, 9.2 innings pitched, but a 152 batting average and an OPS of 404, no earned runs. So he's really good the second time through the lineup, but he struggles against the first part of the lineup. And I think you and I were at the game a few weeks ago when they played the Rockies on a Saturday, and he gave up 4 runs, and the Padres ended up coming back and winning the game. But you cannot give up 4 runs and expect your team to win every single time. And I know he was joking, German Marquez. 4 runs is nothing for this team, and I'm freaking happy about it, because obviously you should be happy about it.
Bailing you out.
But Walker Buehler, it's either you're in the game and he's pitching, he's keeping you there, or you're out of the game. With German Marquez, it's you're not out of the game, you're within slam range, or he hasn't allowed a run, and you're definitely in the game and you're on the way to a win. So in that regard, I think Frank over the last 4 hours has made me change my opinion on this. I do think now German Marquez moves up over Walker Buehler in our ranking of the rotation members, just because German Marquez keeps you in the game.
Yeah.
And he eats some innings. And he's not a guy who's given up 7-8 runs in his starts. Again, 4-0-4-0-4. So that means the next time he starts, he's going to get 0. So if Walker Buehler had to go to the bullpen, I would be fine with that. I don't know that he wants to, and I don't know it's really his choice, but I wonder how those conversations would go.
I agree. I think when it comes time for Griffin Canning, of course, will take, as we said, will most likely take the place of Matt Waldron. When Lucas Giolito is ready, that's when you got this fight again between Buehler and Marquez that we've had all season long so far. You have a couple of options, as we said on the show on Wednesday, if you want to go back and listen on wherever you get your podcasts. You have the ability now, when Giolito's ready, to either have a 6-man rotation or to get rid of a starter, which Buehler and Marquez are not, one, going to accept a minor league assignment, or two, clear waivers. With how they've pitched this year, they are going to help somebody. So they are not going to clear waivers. You have the choice whether to have a 6-man rotation, send someone down to the minors, out of the bullpen. As far as the bullpen is concerned right now, David Morgan has 2 options. Bradley Rodriguez has, I believe, has 2 options as well. Adam and Morahone have timed out. They've gone past 5 years of service, so all of the options that they have are nullified.
Yes.
You're not optioning Mason Miller, as the joke I made earlier, even though he does have 3 options. And Wandy Peralta doesn't have any options. Ron Marinaccio doesn't have any options. So it's really a fight between Rodriguez, Morgan, and Kyle Hart, who has 1 option as to who you're going to send down. You've got to bring up Canning. You're going to bring up Giolito. Joe Musgrove's going to come back at some point.
We hope. You
have more imminently, though, Yuki Matsui is going to be coming back. Yeah. And so is Jeremiah Estrada. So you have a lot of guys that you're going to need to make decisions on here very, very soon. And the road has almost gone as far as it can go, as far as the road you can kick this can down. It's about to come to a dead end at some point.
It's true. And Juan has been crushing me in the chat today.
Which is a nice change of pace, because he's usually crushing me.
He usually crushes me. That's fine. That's fine. Saying Scraby seems to have beef with our starting pitcher options. Yeah, I do. Because coming into the year, we had Joe Musgrove. We had an embarrassment of riches. We had Nick Pivetta. We had Michael King. We have Randy Vasquez. We were only looking for one guy in that rotation. And, injuries happen. Nick Pivetta, I'm just planning like he's not coming back this year. And I don't know that that's the truth or anything like that, but I'm just going to plan like he's not coming back this year. So you got to look at him as a non-option. The starting pitching is worrisome. It's worrisome. Now we'll have to see how Lucas Giolito does. We'll have to see how Griffin Canning does. And I'm going to cheer for them, but I'm cautiously optimistic about this. Very cautiously optimistic. All right. Let's see. We're headed towards the end of the show. We should talk about Nick Castellanos on the other side. I also want to talk about Adrian Morejon on the other side. And we'll see where else we go here in the final segment of the Braden Surprenant Show. I'm Matt Scraby. That's Frank Marchese filling in for Braden Surprenant on 97.3 The Fan. This isn't Judah and the Lion, Frank. Who is it?
Tiesto.
Oh, I know Tiesto. All right. Bass Gravy. Tiesto. Frank Marchese here, 97.3 The Fan. Last segment of the show. Braden is back tomorrow. Gwen and Chris are coming up after this show. I will be out today for Gwen and Chris, but I will be back with them tomorrow. Now, the Cubs are coming into town, and the Cubs went into LA with a 10-game win streak. They ended up losing over the weekend, so their win streak has been snapped. But one of the things that I really loved seeing over the weekend was how mad Pete Crow Armstrong made Dodgers fans. And it all started in February. And here's what he said to Chicago Magazine. This is the quote. Quote, I love Chicago more and more. It's just an incredible city. The people are great. They give a bleep. They aren't just baseball fans who go to the game like Dodgers fans to take pictures and whatever. They are paying attention. They care. End quote. First off, round of applause for Pete Armstrong. Round of applause for Pete Armstrong. Dodgers fans were very upset about this, but here's my thing about the Dodgers fans being upset. What is he supposed to say? I know he's from the LA area, and so this stung. But what is he supposed to say?
Did you know
Dodgers fans are so much better than Cubs fans?
Did you know that he's the son of the mother from Little Big League?
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
That's the joke. That's why I said it. Because everyone says it.
I thought you were trying to tell me.
All the time.
I love Little Big League. I love that movie. But what is he supposed to say? So why are you so mad? He's on the Cubs. He is a Cubs player. He just signed a massive deal with the Cubs. He's going to be there forever. And that, I guess the deal came after this quote, but he doubled down when he came into town. He doubled down on foul territory. I'm not a big PCA fan for some of the temper tantrums, but I can get behind someone who triples down on something that they say.
Hey, Dodger fans.
It's only a game. Why you have to be mad?
What is that from?
It's Ilya Brizgalov, former Ducks goalie.
It's true. It's only a game. I think I've heard Bennett Wood say before, baseball's supposed to be fun. Mm-hmm. We're supposed to have fun. You guys, Dodgers fans, you just came off of 2 World Series championships. Like, don't be so triggered. Don't be so triggered.
It's all, I mean, they're insecure. It all comes out of insecurity.
It does all come out of insecurity. He also went on to say, what I wish people could see through is I'm not getting at diehard Dodgers fans. They obviously exist. They're out there. I grew up seeing those people too, but it's a see-me city. It's a Lakers city where people show up to sit courtside and look good, and I view it the same way here. Thank you, Shohei and Freddie and Mookie, because it wasn't always like this. He's saying nothing that I disagree with at all, but they're coming into town.
He's speaking the truth.
He is speaking the truth. I got to say, have you ever been to Dodger Stadium?
No, I value my life.
Okay. I have. It is one of the worst experiences in regards to getting in and out of that stadium that I've ever had in my life. It's so hard to get to that stadium. It seems like there's one road.
You see, that's why you get a media credential. And then you wait out the traffic by just sitting there twiddling your thumbs in the press box. And then you just straight leave.
You do just straight leave. And also getting there, you can get the media credential and you can get there very early. Like when I went up to the Angels game last Saturday or whenever it was, I got there at 3 for a 2 for a 6:40 game. Obviously no traffic whatsoever. It was great. And after I told Sam, if they win, I'm going to go into the clubhouse and I'm going to get sound for you, Sam, for your post-game show. And then I found out it was fireworks night at Angel Stadium, and I was like,
Sam.
This takes precedence. I need to be out of here before the fireworks are done, because I've done the fireworks traffic before. It is brutal. Absolutely brutal. Anyway. Sorry to all the people sitting in traffic right now. Let's hit on Nick Castellanos here in the final 10 minutes. Also, Adrian Morejon. I don't know how much time Nick Castellanos has left with this team. I do think he's had some decent moments this year, some solid moments, but I also think he's just not a guy who is comfortable doing the start once every 5 days, pinch hit here and there. I don't think he's that guy. I think that he needs to be a guy who's in the lineup every single day. Obviously, that's not going to happen with this team right now. He has 1 hit in his past 25 at bats, and he's only started the Padres or 2 of the Padres' 8 games. And Ty France is not doing anything to give him a chance to get into the lineup. Ty France, 2 home runs over the weekend. He's 8 for 23 of the season with a double and 3 home runs total while starting 7 of the past 11 games at first base. So here's another question. Is Gavin Sheets an everyday first baseman? I say no. At the first base spot. He is definitely when he's facing righties. But when Gavin Sheets is facing lefties, Ty France should be in there every single time. And if you're looking at what Ty France has done versus lefties and righties over his career, he's basically the same against righties and lefties. Against righties in his career, he's hit 261, 58 home runs, 735 OPS. Lefties in about... I'm doing math now. 1,200, I guess, less at bats. He is hitting 265 with an OPS of 740. Our right-handed pitcher OPS 735. So he doesn't need to be a platoon guy. He's good enough to face either a righty or a lefty. And we're talking about Ty France. He's also very, very good at defense. And Gavin Sheets has been a lot better at defense at first base than I expected for him to be this early in the year. And Gavin Sheets is also a guy I can see improve as the year goes along, just like he was in left field. So I don't have issues with Gavin Sheets playing first base. But there are times when his lack of experience at first base shows itself. It hasn't been too many times this year, but Ty France is just so good defensively. And he's hitting the ball right now, and he's hitting for power. I don't see how you could take him out of the lineup. And now that we're in a different showtime, I almost called you Chris. Now that we're in a different showtime, Frank, sorry. I was like, let's go to the lineup, but the lineup's not going to be out for like another hour or so.
He draws the foul.
Sorry. Yeah, it was a foul. But Ty France, to me, right now, needs to be in the lineup every single day at first base. And you either DH Andujar or you DH Gavin Sheets. But that's about it for me right now.
France has played very, very well, for sure. And I think Miguel Andujar has been the best of the guys off the bench. So I would move him as the everyday DH. I don't think you've played yourself out of this left-handed, right-handed DH deal.
Yeah.
So I think Andujar should be getting the bulk of the load as a designated hitter. I think you can move France around the infield, give everyone a day off.
You can go second base too?
Yeah, give everyone a day off. You can play third. Andujar can play third base as well. And then you have Gavin Sheets playing first base or in left field to give Ramon Laureano a day off here and there. So I think you've kind of played yourself out of the lefty-righty
platoon stuff,
platoon DH as of right now.
Yeah, if you're looking at Andujar has been great this year. He is hitting 311. He's got 5 RBIs. He has a 786 OPS. He has no home runs. He's
never been a home run hitter, though.
Yeah,
he's always been a doubles, a gap hitter.
And he's a lefty killer. So, but out of all the things we just said, Frank, do we see a spot for Nick Castellanos? Is he? Do you think that he's next up to be DFA'd or at least optioned to the minor leagues, which I don't think he'll accept, as you said earlier? I think it's almost there. But I also think they want to give him a little bit more time.
I understand why they would want to give him more time. He's a guy who's used to playing every single day. He's not one of these guys who is used to coming off the bench on a regular basis. So, and as Tony says, it's one of the hardest things to do in baseball.
It is
to come up as a pinch hitter.
In sports.
Yeah. So I understand why they want to give him more time, but they also kind of need to do what they've done with Campusano in that case, and that's kind of shoehorn some time in for him.
Yeah.
Make some time if that's going to be the case. And if you're in a spot where you make time for him and he still doesn't perform, then you're kind of hoping that Sungwoo Song is ready to go, because he would probably be the guy who goes down. If not, it's Bryce Johnson. But I don't see a way that Castellanos stays on this team for much longer with his contract being what it is.
Yeah.
And him performing the way he is.
I wouldn't be surprised if some sort of sore back happens with Nick Castellanos here in the next couple of weeks, maybe this week.
Careful with that, though. You're playing a dangerous game doing that, though.
Why? Oh, with the...
Yeah, Major League Baseball has cracked down on teams for not
But how can they prove if his back isn't sore?
Exactly. But they have been looking at it. Teams have been getting in trouble for improper use of the IL.
Huh. I found that weird. Like, my back hurts. You're lying. That's all they can really say, I guess.
No, it's not.
I meant to say this earlier, but I didn't. When we played the sports standoff, Alex qualified for a chance to win the grand prize this month, a pair of field level seats, the Padres Phillies on Memorial Day. I'm cleaning up things. The lunchtime hour, Frank, is that still something that we...
Yes, it is. How did I forget that?
I'm waiting for the tacos. Where the damn tacos at?
This noon lunch hour is brought to you by the Craft Taco, bold flavors at 2 locations, Sorrento Valley and inside Balboa Park's Natural History Museum.
Jeremiah is angry that he's 2 hours late.
I know. He does sound angry in that clip, too. As long as we're doing this, we're broadcasting live from the Bill House Studios, where we know how, and all guests are brought to you by SDCCU. It's not big bank banking, it's better. We're coming to the end of the show. Did we fit everything in, Frank? Oh, I wanted to talk Adrian Morejon real quick, because Adrian Morejon threw 10 of the 11 fastest pitches of his career during his inning of work on Saturday night. He said he does look at the velo because he knows he's throwing it hard, and he is enjoying seeing that he is throwing it hard. Entering the season, 4 of Morejon's 2061 career fastballs had reached triple digits. His career high was 100.7. He has thrown 34 pitches at 100 miles an hour or faster this season. And Saturday, he hit a career high twice. Dude hit 101.7. If you round that up, it's 102. And so Mason Miller is not the only guy who can throw hard and throw over 102 miles an hour in this bullpen. I think Adrian Morejon, unfortunately, in his last year before he goes to free agency, he will be a closer next year. We should enjoy everything we get out of Adrian Morejon this year, because he is too good and he is too young for him not to be a closer in this league somewhere else. I'm sorry. I got to say it. I don't know if you agree with me or not, Frank, but I got to say it.
I agree. I also have a feeling that I think he'll stay. I think there's a world where he stays.
Interesting, because he's a 7th inning guy here.
Maybe that's what he wants. Just because you have closer stuff doesn't mean you have to be a closer.
That is true, but don't you want that?
And he also
had money, homie.
He also had a couple of iffy outings later in games this year too. So
those seem to be behind him. I've forgotten all about that.
I understand that, but that's something you can use to say, hey, listen, you kind of pitched late in the game. Didn't go too well for you, bud.
That is true.
7th inning looks pretty good for you right now. I'm just saying.
Augie says Morejon could get paid here and he could be on a winner.
Can
Adam Paul said he's not a closer. I go back and forth on that. He has the stuff to be a closer.
He does.
He's a lefty.
Does he have the mentality to be a closer, though? That's the thing. That's the question.
I don't know. That is a good question. All right, that was an extremely quick 4 hours. Thank you so much, Frank, for guiding me through it. Thanks to everybody for listening. Braden is going to be back tomorrow. We're going to be talking on the Gwynn and Chris show, at least, about the Cubs and the Padres, and Braden and Frank back at it 10 a.m. tomorrow. Gwynn and Chris up next on 97.3 The Fan. Have a great day, everybody.